Hey, man.
Ba, 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 ba.
I got to relearn how to play that.
Is rocking. Dang.
Hey
Hey
now.
now.
Hey now, everybody. Johnny Beane, John Mancuda, talking guitars and
Hey.
80's Metal Live. Here we are. It's 8:13 p.m. Eastern, June 8th, 2021. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, brother. And you notice we're for once on the cooler side of the United States this time. You notice that?
Yeah.
The East Coast is having such a crazy heat wave. I could smell everyone's body odor like along the eastern seaboard.
Oh my gosh.
It's that sweaty. I know everyone's like dripping sweat today on the East Coast.
Wow.
Including my hometown, New York.
Wow. Awesome, man.
Mike Neese, 94 in Iowa. You know, if you're in the chat right now, give me the temperature, not like a rectal thermometer temperature, but like give me the temperature around your area if you're part of the East Coast heat wave going on right now. 98 in South Georgia, Mike Johnson chimes in. 69 here in Lake Titicaca. Thank you, Renus.
Wow.
Nice.
64 here in Santa Cruz.
Janice
really nice.
says it broke tonight. I guess down here in Hollywood, we're probably, I want to say like in the 80s. Let's say not even like probably like 70s. It's nice over here now. Let's see. 90 in Wisconsin, Halface says. North Dakota, David Shea Gomery, 75. That's not bad, man.
No.
Linny Lou and Mary, 101. 102 by Kurt 5150. 90 in North Carolina. Yeah, don't chime in if you're in the 70s, guys. Don't even chime in. You're comfy. You're cool. You're balming outside. You're by the pool. It's nice. It's perfect. I'm talking, all day, all night. 93 in NOLA. 84 in New Orleans.
90 in Lincoln, Nebraska. Hey, Joe.
Sandra Corney, 102. Is that for you, Sandra, or are you just commenting on Kurt? Yeah, it's nasty, man. It's nasty. I don't do well in heat.
No.
Do you have central air, Johnny?
No, I don't think so.
Does Ned just sit there with like a paper fan and
Yeah.
The wife with the peacock feathers,
There he is.
There's
we actually have peacocks out here, so yeah, I see them all the time.
Peacocks are assholes. Did you know that? They're the nastiest birds. No, and seriously, I'm not even joking. You can Google are peacocks assholes, and it will literally come up in your Google. Peacocks are assholes. There will be like articles on it. No shit. It'll be worded just like that. So if you have any dates or sexual inclinations with a peacock this week, cancel them. Especially during this heat. You don't want to get involved in a peacock fight. It's a whole scene, Yeah,
that's weird.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah, and hey, if you're brand new here, I actually noticed the channel here got like tons of new subscribers over the past couple of days. So if you're brand new, welcome and make sure to
everybody
leave a thumbs up.
Yeah, before you realize the show is a tank of cess. It's just garbage with a torpedo shoved up its keister. So please leave a thumbs up now before you realize that idiot in the pink hat is bringing the show down way low in quality.
That one, Mike Neese. Thank you, Mike Neese.
Mike
Neese.
Thank you, Mike.
Yes. Well, hey, let's say hello to our executive producers here.
The big bosses are here.
YouTube. I see a few of them. I see a few of them in the chat right now.
Let's call them out. Let's see. The executive producers, the big bosses like Charles Green, Wayno, Joe Christian, Michael B., Thomas Santiago, Music Therapy Laz, Ben Tom, The Chad, James Gum, David Shea Gomery, Randy Price, Michael the Captain Smith, and happy belated birthday, Michael, yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yesterday was the captain's birthday. Absolutely.
I had no idea.
That's because you weren't invited to the party.
No, I wasn't.
Stephen Franklin, Dan Halen, Crazy Cook 678, John Moronic, Jimmy Ray Hawkins, Mike Neese, and Steve Carmichael.
Steve Carmichael. Hey,
a lot
man.
of the big bosses. A lot of the big bosses in the house.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the top tier of channel membership here on Johnny Beane TV on YouTube. If you'd like to become a channel member, boss us around, get your name in green, get exclusive emojis like Lenny Lou is using, the John Mancudas. Click that join button right below the thumbs ups. We're currently at 28.
And thank you, Lenny Lou and Mary. Thank you. Giving love to Mama Mancuda, who, again, I just want to say thank you to everyone in the audience. Been sending kind words for my mom. My mom just got out of the hospital. She's going through a rough time with some heavy stuff. So, again, thank you for your continued support and love toward my mom, Mom Cuda, part of the show, and gave me birth, the biggest mistake of her life. But thank you, everybody. Seriously.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you.
And as a thank you to Mary for that love, I'm gonna come over and eat your snapper. So just gonna wheel that puppy over and come here, you little geriatric love child.
Oh my gosh.
Nice.
Well, hey, if you're listening, if you hear voices, you're actually listening to the podcast. And you can listen to this on iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, everywhere, wherever you get your podcast. So make sure to subscribe.
We've been nicknamed the darlings of iHeartRadio. Did you know that, Johnny?
I keep hearing that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they've been calling us over there, the darlings of iHeartRadio. I love it. Thank you, iHeartRadio. And, thank you, Spotify and everyone that airs the show every week. We appreciate it. But it's nice to have little nicknames like that. Usually, my dad would give me nicknames like moron. Hey, stupid. Those names I'm used to. It's nice to hear a change of pace once in a while.
Yeah. Hey, David Scher, thanks for all the thumbs ups, man.
And thank you, Black Salami, for the rave reviews. We appreciate that.
Craig D. Kinder. Hey, welcome. You're a friend of Sherman Callahan's. Awesome. Good to see you over on Facebook. We're currently live, Johnny Beane TV Facebook page. So make sure to leave some thumbs over there. And you can help support the channel with Facebook stars.
Nice.
Over on Facebook. And we're also live in the Van Halen 1974 to 2020 Facebook group. That's just growing out of control.
Really growing. We're aiming to be the #1 Van Halen Facebook group out there. Right now, we're #2. We are striving for #1. And if you're listening, join it, and you could help us reach that goal of numero uno.
That's right.
Just like this show on Spotify.
That's right. Right, Ned?
Right, Blue Rhino? There you go. Blue Rhino's like, we're not #1. Shh.
Wow. And real quickly, if you'd like to help support the channel, you can help with any super chats. We'll change the color of my lights. So if you see these lights back here, and we got Ned, any support will help. We'll change those. It's like magic. It's the newest in technology.
Well, what happens is the minute you make a donation, Ned runs over and screws in a different color bulb. He's like, get the camera off me. And then suddenly it's blue or it's pink or
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome, man. Well, hey, who's watching us? We got currently 73.
And climbing like the speedometer in the Night Industries 2000. Just yeah. So let's give some shout outs while we're watching people fly in. Let's say Nightbot in the house, Miles Taylor, Linny Lou, and my little geriatric sex kitten Mary. Kurt 5150, my buddy Fruitcake Tony, my buddy Renus Pinkle, James Gum, Frank Spear. Johnny, you're in the house. That's always good to know. Ben Tom and Tom Jr., I assume. Chuck Leggio, David Scher, thank you for the thumbs up, brother. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to leave thumbs up.
Thank you,
Halface, Wayno, Kurt 5150, our buddy Black Salami, Charles Green, Big Boss Charles Green, Janice la 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 la. My girl Susan Silvestri, my buddy Thomas Santiago, Papa Blue, not related to Papa Smurf or Papa Boner, which I'm doing right now. Johnny, do you want to? Well, I'll finish the roll call first.
It's okay.
All right, thank you. James Gum, 6Chick71. Let's see, David Shea Garmery, Thunder Falcon, my girl Sandra Picorni. Picorni, 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 me love you long time. Love Sandra. Thank you, Sandra, for everything you do. And hey, look who's here.
Hey, man.
It's our buddy Neanderthal.
Hi.
How you doing, bud?
I'm a little overtired, but other than that, I'm good. I had some meetings today after work, and then I had another meeting at 4:30, and I haven't had a nap, so I'm a little cranky.
Well, nothing will cheer you up and give you energy like delicious urine in your mouth bang energy drink.
Wait, what did you say? What did I hear?
No, I'm sorry. This is Bankster Berry, actually.
Oh, okay,
delicious Bang energy drink.
Maybe I didn't hear you correctly.
Always the right bang. Probably some static.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, that sounds good. That seems like a good idea. Sure.
Absolutely. Delicious Bang energy. Thank you, Bang, for waking Paulie up today.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I needed you to do.
Paul has the attitude of my father, rest in peace, right now. That, hey, Dad, what's going on? What do you want?
No, I'm good. I'm just tired. That's all. So I apologize if I seem like I'm being.
No. You're good, buddy.
Meanwhile, I can't sign into YouTube for some strange reason. I don't know if do I not know my own password anymore?
Can you change Johnny's lights?
I can't change Johnny's lights because I'm not false flag.
False flag down under in Australia. Thank you for always supporting the channel.
Fuck it. I'm not signing into YouTube today. So if you have any questions for me on YouTube, I'll have to answer them on the show.
Oh, we'll read them out. Let's see what else.
I can't figure out what's going on.
I was doing some shout outs, some roll call. Kenko Dor, Rico B. Let's see. Vamp 69, Rumple Foreskin, Marky FX. Just seeing who's in the chat. Majestic PB and J Cat. How are you, brother? Browns fan, Kevin Bethel. Crazy Country with a K. Charles Leggio, Grease Paint and Monkey Brains out in Nashville. How are you, man? All Dave, all night. All Dave, all night on Dave TV. IROC Z Blues. I used to have a blue IROC Z. Let's see. Mike Johnson. Thank you, False Flag. False Flag already pumping the money into Johnny's coffeers. Let the king buy cake. Let's see. Mike Johnson and everyone else. CC in the house.
And the rest.
And the rest. Which Paul did not get today. Rest.
I did not. It's funny you say that. It's not funny. It's not.
What's
funny
the temperature? What's the temperature there, Paul?
Oh, currently, we'll give you the weather report in beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. It's only 99. So it's gone down. It's gone down.
So you're low.
Yeah. Well, it was 100. It was supposed to be 103 today. I think it only reached 101.
Got a favor of 103.
But just so you know, by next Monday it'll be 115.
Nice.
And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, plan ahead 117 3 days in a row.
Wow.
And that is in mid-June. It's going to go
nice.
Tomorrow it'll be 102, and then it'll drop down to a chilly 100. Then 104.
Your nipples will be poking.
Then get
a sweater.
104, 109, 111, 115, 117, 117, 117.
Wow.
Cheeseburger. It is.
You should buy some chopped meat to cook on the sidewalk, man.
It is, as we like to say here in Arizona, fucking June.
Zim says it's nice out.
Well, Zim's a big hairy vagina. So how about that?
Nothing like a little vag sweat to make the day.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
Zim will say whatever he needs to say to get on this show.
Let's see. We accept cash, man. I mean, we don't bring any talent to the show anyway. So Zim, come on. I mean,
yeah. I mean, if you want to make this show, this would be a good way for me to gracefully bow out of Tuesday night. So just have Zim come on. That'll
nice.
Be fun. Just beat the shit out of him for 2.5 hours.
Well, if you really want to make the show better, I'll bow out of Tuesday nights and just put Blue Rhino up there, and suddenly our viewership will skyrocket.
Maybe if you really want to make the show better, we'll just put Blue Rhino and Zim on,
and that's it.
And then see how that works.
Blue and Zim. It's like a cop show. Blue and Zim. Nice.
Zim and the Rhino.
Oh, that sounds like a great morning show.
Yeah, it's Zim. Whoop,
Zim.
whoop, whoop. And the Rhino. It's Zim and the Rhino. Zim and the Rhino. Good. Zim and the Rhino. Move it to the left. Move it to the right.
Why are you doing the pterodactyl?
Zim and the Rhino. Zim and the Rhino.
You're doing the pterodactyl again. Stop the pterodactyl. Don't do that. Hey, Marcy.
Hey, Marcy. Welcome.
Hi, Marcy. I can't.
Chris Sawa, Joe Hervey, my Jewish homie, and everybody else. Welcome. Let's see. Sandra had a black and gold IROC. See, that's like the quintessential 80s chick, Sandra. Beautiful girl, T-tops down, her top probably up to here, black and gold IROC Z flying along, Judas Priest heading out to the highway, blowing out the T-tops. Awesome.
That would be a good look.
That's my fantasy anyway.
You had me at Picorni.
Eduardo Marino Porto in the house.
Eduardo Marino Porto.
Hey, Eduardo, good to see you, man.
Tom Zim's Guitars, our buddy Dane Zimmerman. If you're in Arizona, man, stop by Dane's new shop, Zim's Guitars.
Dane just got in.
Looking good.
Dane just got in on trade, I know for a fact. An ESP EC100, Eclipse 1000, a Gibson SG Special, a Taylor 214, and I forget what, I think it was a Spider amp of some sort, Line 6 Spider or something like that. Just got all those things in because I know the guy who traded them into him.
Nice.
Was it you?
It was not me.
Did his car break down in front of Zim's place? He's like, I gotta have money for this repair. Where can I undersell my instruments?
He got a hankering for a little thing called a Frankie, an EVH Frankie. So he traded in the farm, gave about $2,500 worth of stuff for a Frankie. So
nice. And Dane had a 77 Trans Am. I had a couple of Trans Ams, man. They're fucking great pony cars, man. Those things were the shit back in the day. Except
after about 6 months of driving them, they rattled like a son of a bitch. Like the inside,
that was definitely the F body.
Yeah. The dashboard rattled. You'd hit a bump, and the whole thing would sound like it's shaking apart. I'm like, what's going on with this car?
Even the Corvettes back then, same thing.
Yeah, torque for days. The car itself was really, really fast, but it sounded like you were in the fucking Challenger when you were driving around.
The Challenger as it's blowing up.
Yes, I'm not saying the Dodge Challenger. Gosh. I mean the Challenger.
Yeah, not a Dodge Challenger where it's like just pedal to the floor. Damn, that's fast. No, the Challenger isn't. Go Challenger.
No, those things handled like the Jupiter 2.
Oh dear, robots, it's shaking apart. Oh my.
And that's literally the sound of the horn. When you hit the horn, it's like you knew that was not a car you wanted to drive. Oh dear, we're going to crash! Quick, give me the young boy to fondle.
Dr. Smith, what are you doing?
I know that's why they never really worried about Dr. Smith alone with Judy and what was the other girl's name? Penny and Judy, because
that was an early job for JoJo the Chimp, by the way. He was dressed as an alien chimp. That was one of his first pro works.
And of course, we know that at one point, Robot, that's just his name, Robot, fought Robbie the Robot. They reused Robbie the Robot
multiple times.
Yeah, which was great to see Robbie the Robot. I was like, and that was like, that's like your frame of reference. That's how you know the studios are getting cheap in their special effects. You're like, hey, like when Star Trek used Gog as one of their alien things, and Gog floated in, and you could see the line. You know, the big thing that brought Gog floating in through the Enterprise. I'm like, that's Gog. That's not even a new thing. They're recycling specs. Don't they realize that science fiction nerds know every piece of equipment?
There were so many props reused from between Star Trek and the Batman TV show and Lost in Space. Like all of them.
Fun fact, the knife from the Golden Child is the same possessed knife from the Alec Baldwin version of The Shadow.
Oh, interesting.
You know, the knife that comes to that has the teeth and bites him?
I do.
Yeah, that's the same knife as they use in the Golden Child.
That's wild.
Awesome. An elephant never forgets. I don't know how to amortize a mortgage or balance my own checkbook, but I can tell you what the knife in the Golden Child was. I want the knife, please.
Hey, does anyone know where Dr. Smith went? I don't know, but where's Will?
Yeah, I know. That was the other thing. They sent Will off on strange worlds with a robot that wasn't all-terrain and a pedophile.
Robot, go make sure Will's okay. But he's not. Warning.
Yeah, the best part about it was warning. They're on a hill. Like that
Warning,
robot.
I can't see them. They're out of my range of sensors.
Why is it that sometimes Robot would just roll across the landscape of the planet, and then other times when he tried to walk?
He'd lumber along.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I do. He would kind of bounce this way.
Yeah, he'd be like hobbling along. He'd be like Lemmy before she had to go take a shit. He'd just be Robot.
Tail up.
So weird.
I cannot see young Will and Dr. Smith on my sensors. They're in that cave, but I hear screaming. Must be aliens. Warning. How in the world did you fasten these? I use the laser torch to get this fastener open. Get off me!
Oh gosh!
Instead of NASA, it says NAMBLA.
Yes. How many people even know that Stewie Griffin is based on Dr. Smith?
Well, his voice is.
You think,
his voice is.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that and the fact that he's also a gay baby. So
yes.
That also.
I wonder how many people even know that, like even get that reference.
How many in the
people
chat?
Are actually asking. People are asking about the guitar for today's show and tell.
Hint for today's guitar. Well, here's the thing. Last week was such a messed up show. I brought that guitar back with a friend. So it's a friend of that Reb Beach Winger Rare Ibanez that I had on last week. So I actually have two guitars. I'm going to re-show last week's guitar because we really got cut short due to technical stuff. And I brought a friend with it. So get ready because it's really cool.
Is it though?
It really is.
Or are you just saying it is?
Is it hyperbole? No.
Hyperbole?
No. Hyperbole?
Yes. Wouldn't it be awesome if I turned out to be a homosexual?
With cool whip my bottom. Whip.
By the
my
way,
butter.
I think we should. This is our second opportunity to do it because last week was the beginning of Pride Month. So let's take a moment and recognize the reason for Pride Month: African American country superstar Charlie Pride.
That's exactly right. And
When you
of
get
course,
a chance, when you get a chance, kiss an angel good morning.
and of course, lions. It is all about lions.
Yes, exactly.
So,
Yes.
so to all the
And
lions out, actually, it's about
let's
bears.
also give credit. Yes, it is. Let's also give credit to the reason, the naming of Pride Month, the first major hit for the band U2. And now you know more about Pride Month. That's why we're
And
here.
also, of course, sponsored by Home Pride, butter top wheat. We butter right in your crack. So absolutely, home pride. Butter
Now we're
top.
kidding. We're
Butter
kidding.
top bread.
Pride Month is in fact all about the gays and everyone else getting
The LGBTQ community.
and sometimes why? Because
Yes.
why do we need so many letters? Everybody is everybody, so enjoy it. Enjoy your month.
So
enjoy
be
every
kind
month,
to everyone.
Be kind to each other. Let's be cool.
And whether you're part of the LGBT community, BTQ community, or an ally, happy Pride Month, everybody.
Yeah.
Be proud, be yourself, and be kind to each other. There we
Remember, kiss an angel good morning.
Kiss my anal good morning.
Wait. Oh,
I
see
that
now
wrong?
you've
I
made it
sang
weird.
that wrong.
You've
Damn
made
it.
it weird.
I keep messing this up. Look, just happy Pride Month, everybody.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
Happy Pride.
I love the fact that Johnny's like they're talking about the gays.
We're talking about everybody.
I got no problem with that. You know, as long as nobody has a problem with me, I got no problem with.
Well,
anybody.
we have major problems with you, Johnny. To be honest,
A lot of problems.
you make all kinds of money off this show, and we get nothing.
Johnny's lights are the biggest rainbow on the show. And speaking of Pride Month, let's talk about where is it? Judas Priest, the 50th anniversary fall tour of North America, opening band. Have you heard of these guys? Sabaton?
Yeah,
I've never heard of them. Are they good?
Yeah, they're all right. I mean, it's. I would rather they'd finished the tour with Saxon that they were going to do originally, but yeah, Sabaton's good.
That would be nice. I have not heard Sabaton, but I'm sure it's going to be an amazing show. The album Firepower is doing really well, charting up pretty darn high.
And Rob Halford is way nicer and way more cordial and way more polite and way more awesome than he has any right to be. He couldn't be a nicer legend than you could ask for. You probably remember we played the video of us talking to him when the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame essentially fisted them without asking him out for a date first.
Whoopsie.
Yeah.
So that tour starts September 8th in Pennsylvania and concludes November 5th in Ontario. And hopefully there will be a lot more dates added, because I see a lot of empty slots there. I mean, it's a good looking tour across the nation, but there's definitely room for more dates. And I don't see certain places listed yet, but I'm sure they'll be phasing them in because they're in fine form right now.
Yeah, no, look, there's a couple of things going on with Judas Priest. First and foremost, it's great that they're going to get back out on the road. I hope that Glenn Tipton gets a chance to play some of the shows. And then the other side of that is listening to KK Downing talking about he has every right to use the name KK's Priest. Of course he does. It's just not Judas Priest. Sure. And that's the thing that's really starting to irritate me about that whole thing, is that essentially KK Downing is becoming like Stephen Riley and Bobby Blotzer and all of the other guys, Jack Russell and all the other guys that are splitting bands. It's one thing when you've got two versions of Great White or two versions of LA Guns or
Queensryche
or Queensryche. That's one thing. But when you're trying to put out a second version of Judas Priest, that would be like Jason Bonham grabbing three other guys and calling it Led Zeppelin because he played for Led Zeppelin for a couple of shows. Or Joe Perry creating his own Aerosmith when he left Aerosmith. I mean, you can't do that. So I'm a little disappointed in KK Downing and his attempts to put together Priest. That said, the lineup is fantastic. but it's not Judas Priest. And calling it KK's Priest, I think, is somewhat disingenuous and sad. I think it does damage to both brands, to be honest with you. I think it does damage to KK Downing, and I think it does damage to Judas Priest.
Are they writing new material?
As far as I know, only the cake. Now they do have a new song. I did hear a new song. It's okay. It's not great. It's okay. I mean, look, Ripper Owens is a phenomenal singer.
Sure.
But Les Binks is older than shit, and I don't think he's even going to tour with him. I think he played on the record, but Les Binks was the original drummer from Judas Priest back in the late '60s. So that guy's not. I don't expect him to be able to go out like
'60s.
Yeah, like Bill. Yeah, Judas Priest started.
They're 50 years old.
Judas Priest is like 68, 69 is when they first started.
Were they at Woodstock?
No. But you're talking about a fantastic, legendary band who are being sort of split. Yeah, and this 50 years of Priest was supposed to happen 2 years ago, but the COVID and all that stuff sort of bumped these things off. I just think it's the COVID. You've got the COVID.
The who?
Yes, I love when people do that. They call it the something. You know what I mean? Instead of just calling it, oh, you've got the AIDS. You've got the AIDS.
You've got the AIDS.
There's another great. There's a you have AIDS, not HIV, but full blown AIDS.
But full blown AIDS.
Johnny's never seen that. He's never seen that bit.
It's a Family Guy. It's a Family Guy episode.
It's a Family Guy bit. Yeah. Thunder Falcon brings up a great point. Graham Bonnet and Alcatraz. Do we really need Graham Bonnet's Alcatraz and then Alcatraz's Alcatraz? Nobody in Alcatraz was in Alcatraz. I mean, I guess Jimmy Waldo, but who cares?
Well,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Joe Stump. I think Joe Stump is a phenomenal guitar player. If you can't have Yngwie in Alcatraz, you might as well have Joe Stump. But
Alcatraz just signed, or at least Graham Bonnet's Alcatraz just signed Jeff Loomis as their guitarist.
See, it's a different Alcatraz, because if you go and you look at the Alcatraz Facebook page, Alcatraz claims that they're still Alcatraz without Graham Bonnet.
Well, he's calling it Graham Bonnet's Alcatraz, because you remember we talked about like a couple months ago, they had the whole management dispute. Graham Bonnet's like, no, we are not managed by them. And the rest of Alcatraz is like, yes, we are. And because the management team, Alcatraz broke into Alcatraz and Graham Bonnet's Alcatraz.
And that's the sad part about it, is Alcatraz just put out a phenomenal record last year.
Great album.
And literally, like within weeks of that album coming out, Graham Bonnet was gone. It was so weird. I mean, talk about a band that just can't keep their shit together. And it's amazing. You got to wonder, is it Graham? Because he couldn't make it in Rainbow. He couldn't make it as a solo artist. He can't make it back in Alcatraz. Graham is one of the great voices of our generation. I mean, a phenomenally talented singer who I don't think has ever been given the credit he deserves as a vocalist overall.
And let me point out, still holding up on the voice. Really.
Yes. For a guy as old as he is, keep in mind he's got Paul Rogers disease, which is, my voice still sounds great in my 70s. It's an amazing thing to see a band like that split apart as well. Now, Alcatraz is a name drop band overall. We know who they are. Johnny doesn't, but
Yngwie Malmsteen, Steve Vai. There you
go. That's all I know.
That's it.
Yes,
that's all you need to know.
Anybody knows. Yeah,
that's all you need to know.
And imagine. Yeah, well, he didn't make it in Rainbow, David Shea Gomery, because Graham has a very similar image problem to a couple of other singers who haven't been able to make it in the metal community because of their own personal choices in their lives, and that's a difficult thing. Graham is a certain kind of guy. He has a certain kind of look, kind of like Brian Robertson in Motorhead. It was apples and oranges, just didn't fit.
Well, also let's look at Rainbow real quick. You have Dio on one side, Jolyn Turner on the other side. I mean, it's not a band that's without options of talent to hire, Well,
that's the thing, and you've got a mercurial guitar player. I mean, Jesus, have there ever been guys that were bigger jerks than Yngwie and Richie Blackmore? in guitar as far as guitar players go? I don't think so. I think those might be the two. Steve Howe from Yes is kind of a notorious asshole, but Yngwie, and funny because Yngwie worshipped Blackmore, so he really not only did he take his playing style, he took his shitty attitude too.
And they're mean to each other.
Always follow your heroes.
I believe Blackmore is very dismissive of Yngwie, like most people in the music industry,
Except Yngwie.
except Yngwie. Yeah.
Except Yngwie.
So
My
that's
biggest fan is in the mirror right here.
yeah. It's a difficult thing, and I guess when you're that talented, I guess you can be your own biggest fan. But the unfortunate part about that is, at some point, you find yourself on an island with the tide coming in, and nobody in their lifeboat is going to come save you. And I think that you start to see shit like that with guys who are notorious jerks. Kevin Dubrow had to learn that the hard way and came back very humbled. I think the guys in Rat are dealing with that right now.
Speaking of jerks, I mean, nobody finds me as sexy as I do. In fact, I fuck myself more than anybody does.
Actually, to be honest with you, you could have stopped at nobody finds you sexy. Even you are your self-pleasuring is still done out of shame, not really out of sexual attraction.
It's done out of sympathy for myself.
Yeah, you beat yourself because you hate yourself.
Listen, I beat my dick like it owes me money, and I don't regret it one bit. Of course, my sheets do, as they are crunchy like cornflakes.
And your neighbors, to be honest with you. Yeah. When John lays down in his bed, it's like somebody opened a bag of Lay's potato chips.
And of course, I sleep with the window open sometimes, and my neighbors hear like 2 a.m.
Yes, there's a great example. Miles Taylor. Yngwie signature pickups are cool. The Yngwie Malmsteen signature Stratocaster is a fantastic Stratocaster. And Yngwie signature pickups, okay, maybe, I suppose, even though he's really was only using real Fender pickups at the time. But why do we need Yngwie signatures potentiometers? That's like the slash guitar strings or slash guitar picks or any sort of guitar player's guitar picks. Eddie Van Halen. Do you really think that buying a set of guitar strings is going to improve your playing when in fact they're just Ernie Ball strings with a different label on them?
You will sound just like Yngwie Malmsteen with these strings. You will play just like Yngwie. Look at Yngwie bending those strings. Can you bend other strings? No, you need Yngwie Malmsteen official bendable strings. You can play like Yngwie. I am God. Yeah. Thank you for those strings. And besides, you know what? You don't need those particular pickups.
Here it comes.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, when you could get any tone you want with wonderful custom wound Vinum custom pickups. You want Yngwie's tone? Craig Vinum will hook you up. Vinum custom pickups, baby. Go to Vinum custom pickups. Maker of the Mancuda custom. Go to Vinum pickups and tell Craig what you want. Tell him you got sent here from John Mancuda and the guys over at Talking Guitars 80's Metal Live, and he will hook you up big time with the tone you want. Thank you, Vinum Custom Pickups.
If only there was some way to demo those pickups that you've had for 2 years in a fucking box.
As soon as I get the right guitar, you know what I'm talking about.
I do.
In the meantime, let me point out, speaking of tones, I like to hit certain high notes with my dear buddy.
Oh, no.
Oh, I know what he's talking about. High notes. When he gets me to say screaming in pain, high notes. What are you talking about, David Crosby? Like when I put a voodoo stick pin right in your grundle? No. Didn't you get that shirt I sent you in the mail, Mancuda? Well, yes, I did. Let me share it with the audience. Let's see what they think. Hold on.
Meh.
Right from David Crosby. Look at that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Hi, Lemmy.
that's a nice shirt.
I thought it was a lovely gift, and that's why you're getting one right in the eye, too, today. No.
Ow. That hurts.
Grundle.
Oh boy, that hurts. That's gonna leave a mark.
Oh yeah, David Crosby voodoo doll. Thank you, Jesus Rapes Me, for sending that.
Oh,
That's not nice.
Neither is David Crosby.
Jesus
There
repairs
you
me.
go. Yeah. Hey, listen, leave a thumbs up before the show takes an even worse turn.
It's impossible. It can't get worse.
And hey, Mark Dillon and
That's a
a bunch
challenge.
of people that walked in while we were talking. Bunch of people walked in. Take a second, leave a thumbs up. Thank you, everybody.
I'd love to be able to leave a thumbs up, but I can't sign into goddamn YouTube.
And Brian S., that's David Crosby voodoo doll because he said bad things about Eddie Van Halen, and that's what he gets. See?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah,
right.
forever.
It's funny. Some people have said bad things about Eddie Van Halen, like David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar. The only person that's never said a bad thing about Eddie Van Halen besides Johnny is Gary Sharon.
Well,
Gary has been the classiest of anybody that's ever been. He and Michael have been the classiest of anybody that's ever been in Van Halen. Although I will say this, as long as we're going to delve into Van Halen speak, because Johnny's going to do it. He's going to lead us in that direction. I saw a fantastic article with his kid who's got a new record coming out on Friday, by the way. And Wolfgang was very honest about the state of Edward Van Halen's mind during the reunion era, and how his anxiety and how he was in a lot of pain and how he was depressed and how he was not happy, and basically knew that he was given a death sentence and still was able to get it together because he had an opportunity to play with Wolfgang Van Halen. So for all of you people who have been bad-mouthing Wolfgang Van Halen for being the replacement bass player in Van Halen and all the shit that happens with it, just understand, the 2007 tour to 2012 tour, the 2015 tour, and A Different Kind of Truth. None of those things happened without Wolfgang Van Halen. So credit where credit is due. Give credit to the kid and cut him some fucking slack. If it weren't for him, Eddie Van Halen would have gone away 15 years ago.
Reading that interview, which I was checking it out this morning, Wolfie also pointed out that a lot of people in recent times have really been apologizing to him for things they said in the past because they didn't know the truth. That
it's nobody's fucking business.
Yeah, it's not anyone's business, but we've talked on the show before. We as fans have this false feeling that we own our heroes, that they owe us something when they really don't, But I understand where it's coming from. Look, we give them the money for their concert tickets, we buy their merch, we buy their albums, and we feel we want that loyalty given back to us. And in something like with Michael Anthony, our initial feeling was, hey, we want the classic lineup, and he's just, doing nepotism. He's putting his son in there. But the fact is, like Wolfie said in the interview, that, he basically said Dad didn't want to go out, but he just wanted to do it so he could do something with his son.
Right. No, not necessarily that too. It was according to Wolfgang, and I have no reason to believe he's making this up.
Sure.
It was a combination of, yes, Eddie was unhappy, and B, he had an opportunity to play with his son in his golden years, or his last years. But the other thing was, he also said, look, Michael was given a choice, and he was happy touring and playing with Sammy, and they didn't want to ask him to not do that anymore. They were going to play with David Lee Roth regardless, and it was Mike's choice. And they said, you know what, Mike, we're not going to make you have to make a choice that you might regret later on down the line. We know we've treated you unfairly. We know that things haven't been the best with us. You're having a great time with Sammy. Go do that. So it's almost like it was, again, and I certainly don't, I'm sure there's two sides to this story, and then there's the truth. But the reality is, according to Wolfgang, they let Michael Anthony go do what would make Michael Anthony happy, rather than bring Michael Anthony back and have to prostitute himself and or do something that was maybe not his favorite decision. Because if he had to walk away from Sammy Hagar, what do? You're hurting the feelings of the guy that you really care about. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously Mike and Sammy were way better friends than anybody in Van Halen were. I mean, Sammy and Mike were the tightest.
Also remember, what was it, 2004 or 2006? Mike gave up the name Van Halen rights, the songwriting rights. He gave up all rights and signed them all away to join that tour.
He'd already done that, but he only did that because they were reuniting with Sammy. Had that been a David Lee Roth tour, I don't think Michael Anthony would have done that. I think Michael Anthony basically said, hey, you guys are getting back with Sammy, and you don't want to do it with me. I don't think the Sammy Hagar tour in 2004 happens unless Michael Anthony acquiesces from a business standpoint. And I think Michael made that call so that Sammy could get back into Van Halen. I honestly believe that was two guys making a decision to put together one of the greatest American rock bands of all time again. And I think that later on down the line, that situation was reciprocated by saying, hey, you're having a good time out there with Sammy. You've got another band with him, 2 whole bands with him between the Circle and Chickenfoot. Why would we ask you to walk away from something that is obviously lucrative and your own thing to come back and do this thing with a guy that, A, it appears you don't like? Dave and Michael, you see some of the interviews, and Michael's just, again, he's the nicest guy in music. He won't say anything bad, but what he doesn't say speaks volumes. And I think that situation was, hey, Eddie wants to play with his kid first and foremost. And by the way, a scenario that I painted either on this show or on Saturday Night Live was the scenario that was potentially going to happen when they talked about the Kitchen Sink tour, which is Michael gets back in the band, right? I mentioned this. Michael gets back in the band. Dave, Sammy, maybe even Gary, and Wolfgang opens. And Wolfgang said that was the plan. He was going to open. That was the plan, and he would have got out on stage and done some sort of a jam with Eddie during the guitar solo or something like that. So that was all laid out. Everything was perfect until Mother Nature and fate intervened and took Edward Van Halen from us way ahead of time. So
no, absolutely. But I have to disagree with you on one point. I still think that it would have possibly happened if they would have gotten Roth instead of Sammy, that Michael would have still joined that tour. Because I think he could not see how much money that would generate. That was a big deal.
So. I honestly don't think so. I think that Mike had been no, I don't think so. I think that Mike had been already dealing with some issues, because remember, Mike and Sammy were friends. They went out on stage and jammed together during that interim period between 98 when Van Halen 3 came out and 2004 when that tour was announced. The idea that Sammy Hagar rejoined Van Halen was not exclusive. I mean, the idea that Michael Anthony also rejoined Van Halen. Remember, when they were going through that period of time, Michael was still occasionally hanging out with Sammy, and it didn't sit well with the brothers.
I mean, it could have gone either way. Again, we're all speculating.
Sure. But it's nice to hear Wolfgang say it and be honest about the fact that his old man was depressed and had anxiety. And part of the reason that all happened, Wolfgang, being part of Van Halen, kept Eddie Van Halen sober, and that's an important thing. He was
it brought up his creative juices. He got excited about going out again because you saw how much fun he was having on that tour. Both of you guys went. Johnny, you saw it too, right?
The last one, 2015,
or some of the earlier ones when Wolfie started.
Yeah, I saw them all. Yeah,
I saw them all.
And Wolfie brought up Eddie to light up because he's having fun with his son. And suddenly he was like invigorated, even depressed, even in poor health. Again, Wolfie clarifying that really brings light to a lot of people not being in the loop of that, you know. But you saw Eddie light up.
Yeah, no, I would say that in the end, if Michael Anthony had rejoined Van Halen for that 2007 reunion tour, it would have been one tour and then acrimony and more embarrassment for the band. It was probably, this is the best way it could possibly have ended. I mean, I wish it hadn't have ended, but when you look at it this way, Wolfgang Van Halen got another 15 years out of Eddie Van Halen, who, as we know, has a propensity when he's not doing well, not feeling well, not doing well, and not behaving well, to disappear and be his own worst enemy. Wolfgang pulled him back from the abyss. We got a great record. I don't give a shit what anybody says. A different kind of truth.
Agree.
Great record.
I agree.
And 3 more tours. And to be honest with you, you could tell on that 2015 tour, Dave was appreciative too, because Wolfgang pulled Dave out of the abyss as well. Dave was in obscurity. Nobody gave a shit about David Lee Roth. He was not a factor, a relevant thing. So when you think about it, Wolfgang Van Halen is responsible for saving the legacy of Van Halen. Because remember, the last thing we saw about Van Halen prior to Wolfgang stepping into the situation were Sammy and Mike at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and that was a fucking embarrassment.
Yeah, I mean, it really did give new life to Eddie. You know, as long as he had life, it really, really did. You know, and now look, Wolfgang is doing him so proud, not being an imitation of Eddie, but being his own man, being his own musician, and he's good. And none of us are saying that because he's Eddie's son. On his own, different style of music, playing all the instruments, writing all the songs, singing all the songs. The kid is good. And God bless him. And joining up with Guns N' Roses, like we said last week on their tour, is the best thing, not just to happen to him, to us. We get a good bill.
And to be honest with you, it doesn't hurt, not unlike Black Sabbath taking out Van Halen in 1978. It doesn't hurt that Guns N' Roses have been touring for 5-6 years now, have played every venue in America several times over, haven't released any new music, and they need to bring a hot shit band out on their tour. It's almost like history repeating itself, where you've got a band that is past their prime, and that's a fact. As much as I love Guns N' Roses, and make no mistake about it, I fucking love Guns N' Roses. I think they are the last. I think they're the last great American rock band, but they're not doing anything of any note. They've been together for a long time. They've had opportunities to release music. They've chosen not to release music. They are becoming
for now.
They've chosen not to release music. This tour could have ended. They could have rescheduled. They could have put out an album in the time that they've been together. They certainly have plenty of time to do it. And they just deliberately have not done so. Even though you hear, yes, they're working on things. How much longer do you think they're going to be able to work on things? They've been touring for 5-6 years. So they're bringing a hot shit band out to be an opening act. And that's the way it's always been. A band that has passed their prime tries to find something that is interesting to get people through the gate early on. And by the way, I love Guns N' Roses. But first of all, this isn't Guns N' Roses. It's 3/5 of Guns N' Roses. And secondly, there's only so many times you can see the same 15-song set. Guns N' Roses is doing now what Black Sabbath did with Ozzy. It's becoming repetitive. It's becoming redundant. And it's a band that's living on legend. The legend is massive, but they're still living on legend.
But I also feel it's one of those shows you can see, and you want them to play certain things.
Oh, sure.
Like Kiss and, the Rolling Stones, or pick your favorite classic band that, has no new music making a big impact, save for someone like AC/DC, whose new album is amazing. But you go in there knowing what you're getting. You're going to see. It's like seeing Rocky Horror Picture Show again. You know the story, but you're going to have a great time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Guns N' Roses was predicated upon an energy, a combustion, a combustibility that I don't think they have anymore. Kind of like Metallica. Metallica is no longer combustible. Metallica is a finely tuned corporate rock machine, and it's not the same. Love them. Their last couple of albums have been fantastic, but they're not the same band. Guns N' Roses, the whole idea of Guns N' Roses is kind of like the idea with the Red Hot Chili Peppers. It's difficult to be 60 years old and be in the Red Hot Chili Peppers. At some point, Slash is going to have to take off the top hat.
Well, it's difficult to see Flea walking around naked at 60, because now the bass isn't covering his ball sack anymore. Now he's dancing around naked with the bass, and Flea, your balls are dragging on the stage. Hold the bass lower.
Well, remember, it was when you would go to see Metallica in the 80s and even through the mid 90s, and they would do Creeping Death, and the whole crowd would die. And it was the energy and the anger and the vitriol and the power were very apparent in the arena. Now, between every song, James is like, Metallica loves you. Are you having a good time? No, I didn't come to. I want to hear Master of fucking Puppets. I don't want Metallica to love me. I really don't. That's one of the great things about bands like Motorhead and the Ramones and AC/DC and all those bands, is that they were just what they were, and they didn't have to try to create a vibe or an environment. You just felt the energy. Guns N' Roses was like that. Remember, Guns N' Roses was a who gives a shit what the industry is doing or what anybody's doing. We're coming through like a fucking freight train and we're gonna blow your fucking heads off. And then they became this super bloated rock machine, and it's not the same.
That's why Gigi Allen started throwing shit at the audience. Are you having a good time? Well, we'll put a stop to that.
Right, exactly. So it's a smart move by Guns N' Roses. It's a smart move by the people who plan this tour to take a band that is getting some industry buzz, that has obviously a namesake. I mean, obviously Wolfgang Van Halen, he can't change his name, he can't change who he is. But if he comes out and doesn't deliver, that will be a short-lived career.
Well, Bozique brings up the point of what I was saying earlier, as far as he's not leaning on being Eddie's son as much as, doing his own thing. What I'm talking about is his style, his playing style, and he's not going out, saying, it's called Wolfgang Van Halen or Son of Van Halen. Look, Mammoth is a tribute to his dad. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just saying he's not trying to be a cheap carbon copy of his dad, playing, the way his dad did or in the style of music. I'm just saying he's doing his own thing. I don't have a problem with him calling the band Mammoth after his dad's first band. I think it's a beautiful tribute.
I will say this. If it weren't Wolfgang Van Halen, and I've said this before and I say it respectfully, but if it weren't Wolfgang Van Halen and we didn't know it was Wolfgang Van Halen and you heard that music, it wouldn't be as remarkable, because you would be like, oh, wow, this is just a good band. And that's the thing. The band is good, but it's very reminiscent of Shinedown and other bands of that style, which is, by the way, his influences. That's what he grew up listening to.
Right.
It's bands like Creed and Nickelback and Shinedown and Tool and some of these other things. So the one thing that Wolfgang Van Halen has certainly done, and I obviously deliberately or otherwise, he's never going to be Edward Van Halen. He can't be Edward Van Halen.
And he's not trying to be.
One. And that's the thing. There's only one Edward Van Halen. So not deliberately or otherwise, either he's incapable, which we know, because again, you can't create chemistry. You can recreate talent, you can dedicate talent, but you can't create chemistry. And Wolfgang Van Halen couldn't stand on stage with the other guys in Van Halen and be Van Halen. It's just not fucking Van Halen. Right. So he's doing his own thing. And again, it sounds very much like Shinedown and a lot of other very palatable, corporate, mainstream. It's not rebellious. There's nothing rebellious about Mammoth WVH. It's just good. And if it weren't Wolfgang Van Halen, you'd just say, wow, this band is pretty good. Mm-hmm. As opposed to, now he's already got it stacked against him. We've talked about this. You're Wolfgang Van Halen. You're fucked from the get-go.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do that's going to satisfy certain people.
It's that double-edged sword of fame. People are paying attention to you because you're Eddie's son. So they know you're Eddie's son. They're going to listen to your product. The bad part is they're judgmental on you. Is this all nepotism? You replaced Alex, I'm sorry, you replaced Michael Anthony.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's got the cards stacked against him too. It's a double-edged sword. But the fact is, the kid plays all his own instruments, and he's a good singer, which something Eddie could never do.
No, Eddie was not a good singer. That much we know. Here's the thing that is I'll give you a great analogy. Somebody that I know that is close in age to me.
Johnny?
No. Somebody that I know that is close to age to me actually made the statement when I played Soundgarden's Get on the Snake, which is an early song from the early years of Soundgarden.
Happy Pride Month, if I didn't mention that. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And that person said, oh, what band is this? I said, it's Soundgarden. He said, who's the singer? I said, Chris Cornell. He goes, he was in Soundgarden? There was a kid, and we know this as this was one of the internet memes. There was the kid that walked up during the Tool show and looked at the old man and said, hey, can you take my picture? There is
I love this story.
There is a whole generation and audience that couldn't give a fuck less about the band Van Halen.
Well, they didn't know. He didn't know who he was. He didn't
But no,
recognize
that's my point. They don't care.
Right.
Those are the people that are going to really dig Wolfgang Van Halen's music because it's good. Not
and
because
a lot of us are too.
Yeah, but not because it's Eddie's kid, but because it's good. And they don't give a flying fuck about Van Halen.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people out there. We do. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't care. Van Halen died a long time ago in the minds of a lot of people. And Wolfgang Van Halen is just another musician putting out a great record who has a name similar that they've heard before.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully
it's a different generation. That's the fact.
Yep. Hopefully it'll be great. Hopefully people will embrace it. If the record stiffs, it won't be because he didn't make the effort. Wolfgang has done and said all of the right things to promote this thing. He's handled a very difficult situation, a public mourning, a very public mourning while trying to promote his future. And that's a difficult thing to ask anybody to undertake.
And what I've heard so far has been terrific.
Yeah, you know? I mean it's fun because I love music. I embrace it and want to hear it. It'll be interesting to hear how the casual Spotify podcast listening, casual music fan who punches and listens to satellite radio and streaming on demand stuff. It'll be interesting to see how that person consumes it.
George Jetson, you mean? The specific button pusher?
It'll be interesting to see how those people, if they embrace it or not, or if it just comes and goes, because there are a lot of bands out there that are making great music that nobody fucking cares about, because music is not the same epicenter of a life group like it used to be. When we were kids, music was the epicenter of our life group. It was the way that we bonded. It's how we got together and we got together. Hey, I got this new album from this great band.
Bring here.
Kids don't do that now. Kids don't have the kick-ass stereo in their car out in the woods having a fucking keg party. They don't do that anymore. That's not. They
don't even have a car. They have a hoverboard.
And that's the point. Kids don't care about cars. That's why
a Razor.
Yeah, I mean, it's really a different culture, and it'll be interesting to see if the music consumer of 2021 cares as much about Mammoth WVH as we do. And we care more about it because it's Eddie's kid. If Eddie's kid weren't in Mammoth WVH, we wouldn't care. We wouldn't care. It would just
that is what
another band.
That is what got my attention to listen to it out of the blue. I probably would not have heard that out of the blue if it was not Eddie's kid, and appealing to me in that way that, oh, you're related to someone I like. I saw you with Van Halen back in 2015. Okay. Yeah, of course I'm interested to see what you do. If I was punching through the radio and my favorite radio station wasn't the one that I worked for. If I were punching through the radio channels and I heard Wolfgang Van Halen's music and I didn't know it was Wolfgang Van Halen, I would continue punching. It's not for me. I'm 53 fucking years old. It's not for me. It's for somebody else. It's for somebody 20 years younger than me, 30 years younger than me, and more power to them. It's not for me. I love it because it's Wolfgang's kid, it's Eddie's kid, but the songs are okay, but it's not what I love. It's not the style of music I love, even though the songs are good. I don't care because I don't know that Wolfgang Van Halen played any. When you hear a song for the first time, you don't know the backstory. You just hear it, and it either speaks to you or it doesn't. And Mammoth doesn't speak to me on first listen.
But also you work in radio,
right? So I'm incapable.
So
I can't listen to music objectively. It's impossible for me to listen to any band objectively anymore because of what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, look, we talk about music every week, but I have to say, even though Wolfgang, Mammoth isn't particularly my favorite style,
see,
I like
we're making
it.
Excuses.
But hold on.
But we're making excuses.
No. Hold on. Let me finish. To be fair, I will say I like it a lot, which I don't give to Tool. I mean, make no mistake. I love Tool. I can't get enough cock. Right? I mean, look at this thing.
But by the way,
but seriously,
just for people that don't understand, you don't love Tool, but you also have the benefit of 30 fucking years of Tool. Keep in mind, Tool's been around 30 years.
I wouldn't know as I'm only 29. but seriously, no, but seriously, it's not a matter of that. It's I can listen to Wolfie objectively, to be fair, because I have heard songs from different styles of music, like Lady Gaga and stuff like that, that I like, even though it's not my favorite genre. My favorite genre is 80s metal. Right. But I can listen to Lady Gaga. I'm pulling her out of my ass as an example because she's so good. Because she's so good. She's really, really talented. And I really like her music, even though that's not my genre. Same thing with Wolfie. I am listening objectively, and I was prepared to not like it, but I do like it. I really like it. I think it's terrific. From what I've heard so far.
Now, remember, you are not the casual music consumer. You are a guy who loves music and therefore are more tolerant and more interested in stuff that, even though it's not your favorite genre, like I like listening to old 70s funk. I like listening to hip hop, classic hip hop or skinny tie alternative bands or goth bands and stuff like that, because I love music. I have a much deeper appreciation for music. You're the same way. Johnny is the same way. We consume music differently than most people. That's why we're sitting here on YouTube on a fucking Tuesday night. Right. Most people don't consume music or embrace music, whether they like it or it trips their trigger immediately or not. We are way more tolerant of music that we may not like than most people. Most people go, what is this? Don't like it. Like that. You've got 30 seconds to catch somebody's attention. If Wolfgang Van Halen can catch people's attention, the masses' attention within 30 seconds, or if the people that are going to see the legend of Guns N' Roses, because that's why they're going now. Same thing happened with Black Sabbath. People went to see Black Sabbath because they heard this legend of Black Sabbath. Because when Black Sabbath first started touring together back in the late 90s, they didn't play a song written after 1979. So you were seeing it was a nostalgia thing. And then you saw these bands like Godsmack opening up for them, and you went, holy shit, I like this band. And then Godsmack went on to have a nice career.
This is another example. Fruitcake Tony's bringing up. This is another example of, this is the first time since Motley Crue Girls Tour with Guns N' Roses that the audience is going, in a lot of cases, specifically to see the opening act. Because we've seen Guns N' Roses a lot. Not a lot of people have seen what Wolfgang can do live on his own.
That goes back to what I was saying about 15, 20 minutes ago, where it was smart for Guns N' Roses, a band that hasn't done anything new, that is sort of become a nostalgia act recently, until they put out a new record. I would love for Guns N' Roses to put out a new record and fucking blow us away.
They are working on new material. We've talked about that. They are working on new material.
Yeah, well, every band is working on new material, whether it sees the light of day is a different thing.
It will. They're making too much money, and they're too oiled a machine right now to not. And by the way, the great Jay Hannon of the band Gizmochi in the house. Check out the new Gizmochi album.
Hi, Ellie.
Link in the chat. Hi, Ellie. Link in the chat as soon as Johnny puts it there. But if you haven't bought it, terrific new album. Speaking of new bands.
So that is a great.
Not that they're really new, but new album.
My final thought on it, it really is. It's a great idea for Guns N' Roses to take Wolfgang Van Halen and Mammoth Van Halen. Let's just start calling it the band instead of calling it Wolfgang.
Sure.
It's a great idea for Guns N' Roses to take Mammoth WVH out on tour, because they've got a band that's got a lot of buzz, a lot of industry buzz, and a lot of already laid in goodwill for the audience that Guns N' Roses attracts. We all love Guns N' Roses. People of a certain age love Guns N' Roses. We remember the legend of Guns N' Roses. We remember Guns N' Roses when they were the greatest band on the planet.
When actually didn't show up.
And then, yes, I know. That's the funny thing about it. Is Guns N' Roses, as old as they are now, are way more reliable than they were when they were the biggest band in the world. So it's smart for them to have a hot shit opening band. And it's incredibly fortuitous for Mammoth WVH to get that. Can you imagine how bands like Rival Sons or Dirty Honey or, I don't know, Foxy Shazam, or like these bands that have been around for years feel about not being able to get the Guns N' Roses tour, and Wolfgang Van Halen, in their mind, waltzes right in and gets it. It's very fortuitous for him to do that.
Oh, sure.
He's got a great opportunity. Hopefully, people who don't consume music the way we consume music will embrace this record, and he is successful. Because that's what, God damn it, the kid could use a break.
Well, look, that is the benefit of nepotism, but the fact is the kid deserves it. For
He's earning
many
it.
reasons, the kid deserves it.
He certainly earned it. First of all, he did pay his dues. If you think being in a band with Eddie and Alex Van Halen is easy, talk to Sammy Hagar, David Lee Roth, Gary Sharon, Mitch Malloy.
And with the fans against you at every show. So yeah, that is paying your dues. And by the way, David Shea Gomery says his 13-year-old thinks Van Halen is stupid, and you still have the kid in the house. Is this your 13-year-old?
Emancipation. Emancipation.
I hate you. Oh, my grundle.
I think it'll be a fun double bill.
Yeah,
it's on a Monday night here in Phoenix, so I suspect I will be going to work very tired the next day because I'll go. There are very few bands that I'll go and see, but I love Guns N' Roses. I've always loved Guns N' Roses. Saw them in a club when nobody knew who they were. Saw them in stadiums when everybody knew who they were, and I'll go and see them this time because I love the band.
And yeah, I will be going with you on your backstage pass, or maybe if there's just one ticket, I will show up at the will call. Your name, Neanderthal. So yeah,
no. There are a lot of really great bands out there.
Thank you, Bozique.
That have been slogging it out for years that don't get the opportunity that Wolfgang has.
Popcorn, the band, guys, we would have loved that tour. Come on. We would have done that. And for the money, we would have even gotten back with JoJo the Chimp and or we could have substituted Ned in his role and, had like a Halen Hagar thing,
Respectfully, Bozique, hard rock is not dead. Hard rock went back underground where it was when we all were coming up in the late 70s, early 80s. It's back underground. There are plenty of fantastic, great hard rock bands out there. I just mentioned several of them. And it's not dead. It's just not mainstream. It's just not. Which, by the way, I'm not sure I want it to be mainstream anymore, because the last time it was mainstream, the last time hard rock was as big as the biggest form of music on the planet, look what happened to it. It ate itself. So it's reinventing itself, just like everybody says rock and roll is dead. You had that first wave, then you had the golden years, the hippie wave, then you had the glam wave, then you had the grunge wave, then you had the new metal wave. Now we have another sort of retro wave that began with bands like the White Stripes and Wolf Mother, and it's continuing with bands like Dirty Honey and Rival Sons. And just like that first wave of bands with Bill Haley and the Comets and the Dave Clark Five, and begat the Beatles and the Stones, which begat AC/DC, Aerosmith, Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, which begat Metallica, you know what I mean? And became this thing, this next level of Wolf Mother and White Stripes and Raconteurs and those sort of retro revival bands are giving way to bands like Airborne and Dirty Honey and Rival Sons and Mammoth WVH. And we'll see if that can resurrect itself. There's plenty of bands out there that are very good. We just have to consume them, and we got to somehow get people to be excited about them. And I don't know how to do that.
And by the way, Ben Tom wants to know a 60-second discourse on why I adore Sweet Vagina. Start the clock, please.
All right, hang
on. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm getting my stopwatch out. Hold on. Stopwatch. And you ready?
Yeah.
And go.
Oh, sweet vagina, there's nothing finer. Spread your legs around my shoulder, and it's my diner. Vagina, there is none finer. To be in Carolina with some vagina. Vagina. Oh, why I love your pink, delish, sweet, silky sweet, tangy taste vagina. Little clit, grab your tit, put it on my nose, stretch it on my face. Vagina, vagina. What time are we at, Paul? How much time do we have?
20 seconds.
20 seconds. Oh my God. Although
Ah.
I love to come in your mouth when I will and crawl down south. I love you, vagina. Sweet, sweet, love it. Take my meat, vagina.
Time.
There it is. You got your $5 worthy, Ben Tom. Thank you. That's $5 contribution for the show. There you go. It's amazing what $5 will buy you these days.
So that just happened.
Yeah. right now. Oh, hi, Ellie. I should have given a warning to get her out of the room. Sorry about that, kids.
Jay just laughed.
Right now, Jay's at the screen like.
The Child Protective Services are at the door with the big iron thing. May we come in?
I hear right now. Open up, Mancuda. Open up, huh?
And of course, I imagine the great majority of people sitting in the chat are going, huh? And I thought he loved the cock.
But there's nothing wrong with that, even though I don't. I don't even love my own cock. That's why I beat it up every night.
Oh boy.
Anyway, if you're in the chat, take a second, leave a thumbs up because the show only gets worse from here, kids.
Can't get worse.
It really can. Speaking of which, did you guys go on my Facebook and see the news story? And this is not a joke. This is not a bit. There is a news story. There was a mayoral candidate race in New Mexico recently, and the mayors are competing and doing tricks on each other, trying to, of course, the typical mudslinging in politics. But at one particular rally of this one mayor, someone had a drone flying overhead above where the mayor was giving a big speech to a crowd, and attached to it was a giant floppy dildo. So literally it's like, but a big, like a foot-long dong dangling over the mayor, and people looking like, is anyone going to stop this? And the mayor is not even aware, or he's ignoring, like he's probably not seeing it as a dildo.
How strong was that drone?
Clearly,
think
a
about
powerful
that.
drone. This was a heavy dildo. I mean, I didn't weigh it myself, but it looked like a pretty hefty latex dong, and it was flopping along, and it was just buzzing over the mayor giving a speech. I don't even think he knew what was going on, and the audience was looking at each other like, "Is anyone else seeing that?" Is that? And one woman, says, "Is that a dong on a drone?" And and
Beautiful.
Just finally. One of the security guys gets up enough balls to run up, take a leap, and grab it. Just basically go for the dong and
awesome.
And pull it down. And then they get in a fight. I guess who was flying it got in a fight. But you guys, if you want to see that video, because there is video footage of this, go on my Facebook, Jonathan Mancuda, and it's in my timeline. I posted a link to the story which has the video, and the video is great because as you're watching the video of the dong flying, someone is playing kazoo in the background, like this one, and it's like it's really, really funny. So check that out on my Facebook.
I'm stealing the story and reposting on my Facebook page.
Absolutely, man. It's a great one.
For it.
It's a great one. Hey, listen, I wish I could take credit for it. I don't write them. I just read them, man. But it's a great one. I just had to share with our audience because we love and appreciate our audience. So we want to share all the important news, including real life news aside from music. There you go.
Just making sure I have it. And there it is.
And thank you, old man Dan.
Yeah,
and thank you, all Dave All Night.
Yep, I just shared that on mine. So Facebook.com/Neanderthal as well. So you can get it on Jonathan Mancuda, or Facebook.com/Neanderthal, and it's out there.
Yeah, and
Very
it's a great.
funny.
It's worth checking out the video. Believe me, you'll want to share it with your friends too. It's funny shit. It's really funny shit, and it's
Hi, buddy.
not a joke. It's like a real news story. So,
Hi, buddy. You heard
classic.
dildo. You heard rubber dildo and was like,
dildo.
because he wants to have it in his mouth and do the death shake. You know, with the dildo is just flopping around.
Have a tug of war with a double-ended dildo.
Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy.
Quick, throw me the kildo.
Come on, it's the kildo. Come on, it's right here.
It's molded from Gene's actual pee-pee.
Very, very powerful and attractive dildo. Hi, buddy.
Speaking of Gene Simmons,
Hi, buddy. He's a good boy.
Gene was in an interview recently, and Gene of Kiss was in an interview recently talking about one of Kiss's greatest hit songs, I Was Made for Loving You. And they asked, so how did that song go when you were introduced to it? And he says, well, Paul can, and again, Gene, just confirm this for me as I tell the story, just making sure these facts are accurate, okay? Just confirm for me.
These facts are accurate.
Okay.
Everything you're about to say is true. I've made it all up on my own.
So one day, Paul decides to write a song with someone else, and he comes into Gene, and he says,
believe it's Vinny Ponce. I think is the guy.
I think you are correct, actually.
Yeah.
I forget the name, but that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
And he says,
what song?
Gene, I Was Made for Loving You, 1979.
I know the guy who wrote that.
Was it Vinny Poncia?
It was Desmond Child.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I don't think it was Desmond Child.
I used to live.
That
in his
wasn't.
house.
That wasn't the name that came up. But well, I don't know. Gene, do you have any opinion of who should get credit for it?
It's listed as Paul Stanley, Vinny Poncia, and Desmond Child, composers.
Okay, so Johnny's partly right too. And
Yeah,
we're
So
okay.
Here's the thing: the fact of the matter is, I bet it was more Vinny Poncia and Desmond Child than it was Paul Stanley.
Oh, I agree with that. I totally agree with that.
Although Paul Stanley did write "God of Thunder," one of the greatest Kiss songs of all time. Fun fact.
And one of Gene's personal favorites to perform.
Yeah. So weird that Paul would write that song. He just knew that it was not for him. That it was more of a Gene song.
Well, Gene basically said, Paul came in and he says he prefers songs that are hard edged, like I Love It Loud. And he says, I breathe fire, I spit blood, my tongue's dragging on the ground, I'm the demon. I love hard hitting songs. But one day Paul comes in with this and he goes, Gene, great news. I wrote a new song with some other people.
I have a new song that everybody's going to really like.
I want to run it by you.
It's not as bad as I'm a Legend Tonight or Down on My Knees. God, Down on Your Knees is a fucking awful song. I mean, I love it, but Jesus, what a piece of shit. What a piece of shit.
You got to fill that album, man. You got to fill that album.
I've been, as you know, I'm a huge fan of Les Paul guitars, and I can't play guitar very well, so Ace Frehley is my guy. And I had Kiss on shuffle in the house. As much as we make fun of them, they're still my first.
We're huge.
They're still my first favorite band. When I was a kid, you never forget your first favorite band. The band that made you. Go ahead.
Paulie and I are both Kiss Army.
Huge,
from way back.
Huge Kiss fans. But man, there's some of their stuff is fantastic, and some of their stuff is ear-shatteringly bad. And Down on Your Knees, and Shandy. And I'm a Legend Tonight are all absolute.
Shandy's the one I hate. Shandy's the one I hate.
Absolute dog shit. Yeah, it just not even the character or smell of. At least dog shit brings you some sort of emotion. Down on Your Knees is an awful fucking song.
Let me here's the buzzword
Shandy.
Let me here's the buzzword Shandy, and suddenly her tail raises up and she's got to go. It's like X-Lax. It's a buzzword.
So anyway, long story, even longer. I was made for loving you.
So Paul walks in the room. Gene, great news! I wrote a song with a couple other people. You're gonna love it. So Gene goes, well, what are the lyrics? He goes, oh, this is great. This is great. First line is, I want to give it all to you.
I like where this is going.
And then the next line is in the darkness.
Okay, yes, I don't have to look at her fat face. Yes, I'm with you.
And then I start playing the guitar like this, and it sounds like this, right? It's good. You like that? You like that?
No, not especially. But how much money are you going to make off of it?
And then Gene goes, well. Gene said to me, well, where's my part? What do I do? And I said, that's what you think, Gene. What do you think?
I'm not sure I'm capable of a doo-doo.
Gene wasn't happy with it at all. Gene was very disappointed. His specific words I remember were, oh no, Paul, no.
The funny thing about it is Gene was too busy writing fantastic songs on that album, like "What is my charisma?"
Was that the album with Room Service by chance?
No, Room Service is an awful song, but still funny.
But it's funny, isn't it?
I need a meal, baby. I could use a meal. Room service to do what you feel. What? No.
Bring me the lotion for the motion.
Now there were some good songs on Dynasty. Not many, but it was a
fun album though.
One of which was a great cover of the Stones' 2000 Man, sung by Ace Frehley,
which was great.
Hard Times was a pretty good song too, but that record was not very good. I will tell you, I actually do like Sure Knows Something. I think Sure Knows Something was a cool song.
Erica Foreman loves Shandy. You're the only one.
Yeah,
you're the only one.
You're the only one.
Yeah. Even Paul's like, oh, I wish they wouldn't request that song.
I
really hate that one.
Here's the thing. We wrote that song not for the fans, but for the filler.
I mean, geez, Shandy was my dog, for gosh sakes.
Yeah, Dressed to Kill was my first Kiss album as a kid. I remember being at a record store in Quincy, Massachusetts called Jason's Music and Luggage, because that was back when you couldn't really just be a record store. You had to be like a record store was like a little corner of a part of a store. It wasn't like the record store hadn't quite arrived as the social meeting point as it was. So when you went in to get your vinyl luggage, on the other side of the store were like 15 bins. And I remember seeing the cover of Dressed to Kill of these four guys in suits on a corner in New York City with the weird makeup. And I was like, I've got to have that. I've got to have it. I've got to have it. And I didn't even know Rock and Roll All Night at the time. I had never heard the song. And so I'm listening to the record and she's a dancer, a romancer. I'm a Capricorn and she's the Cancer. What? Room service, baby, I could use a meal. Come on. And then, but let's not forget, my baby's a two-timer.
Paulie had to give Gene some stuff to do. I mean, really, they're all sharing singing time. You gotta fill in that voice.
Now, there's a great song that most people don't get a chance to, or probably don't acknowledge, that to me is Kiss's masterpiece. And that is the live version, even though it's not live, it was recorded live in the studio and they had a crowd after the fact, of Watching You. Watching You is as good a song as anything, and I'm gonna say this is I'm gonna get roasted for this. Watching You is as good as anything Led Zeppelin or Aerosmith ever wrote. It's that good. The riffs, there's like 5 riffs in that song. It's a fucking outstanding song. But
the chat just went like this.
Yes, but because it's Kiss, nobody cares. But go back and listen to the live version of Watching You from either Cobo Hall in Detroit or Winterland in 1975. Holy shit, what a great song. Fantastic song. It's full of Zeppelin-like, Joe Perry-like, Angus Young-like riffs, and it's heavy as fuck. It's a great song, but nobody cares.
Susan Silvestri, the like button is the thumbs up. That's also called the like button. I didn't know you didn't know that, but yes, that is the like button. Thank you.
Yeah, Watching You is a fucking outstanding song. If that had been released If that had been released during the time of the hair metal explosion in the mid 80s, Kiss might
would
be
have worked. That would have worked.
even bigger than they are now. That is a fantastic song.
See, the problem is Kiss was a
It may be their
band.
best song.
Kiss was a band during the 80s that basically was so different from what they were in their time of the 70s. They had to kind of like reinvent themselves to blend in with what was going on, because they couldn't just be has-beens by, the makeup wouldn't have worked for that era, I don't think. They had to like be in that hairband explosion of, tattered pirate clothes and fringe and stuff like that. And that's, that's one of the things, like, you have to realize it's later on in the 90s when they went back to the makeup, that was like feeding on the nostalgia at a time when the 80s stuff was done.
Well, it's interesting because, and I think everything between Creatures of the Night and Revenge is sketchy at best.
I like a lot of it.
There's a lot of great stuff. Diminishing returns. There's a lot of great stuff on Lick It Up, and then there's less of it on Animalize, and even less of it on Asylum. They started to do this with every album for me, and then all of a sudden Revenge happened, and holy shit, what an amazing comeback record. But I can't say that about the early stuff. The early stuff's issue is that the production is piss poor. But if you go back and you listen to shit like Cold Gin and Firehouse and Hotter Than Hell and Making Love and Jesus, Mr. Speed. I mean, Mr. Speed's a fucking outstanding song.
Mr. Speed is a great song.
It's a fantastic.
It's Cold Jizz time again.
All those songs, those are phenomenal songs that suffered from the fact that A, they were piss poor produced, and B, they were Kiss. And Kiss was the first band that sucked no matter whether you heard them or not. They were they were Nickelback and Creed and whatever other band you want to use as an example before that was a thing. Because when Kiss came out, obviously they were selling millions of records. Obviously they were on the cover of every news magazine or every rag magazine. They were on every television show, 2020 and NBC and the news and all this shit. They were fucking everywhere. They had their own movie on Halloween on NBC. There couldn't have been a bigger band on merch. There couldn't have been a bigger band on the fucking planet at the time. And yet all of your friends that love the Doors and Zeppelin and Aerosmith and Little Feat and Doobie Brothers and ELO and Fleetwood Mac and the Eagles are Kiss sucks. Kiss sucks. Kiss sucks.
Because again, think about Poison in the 80s, hottest fucking band in the world at the time. But because of their image, some people are like, oh, I don't like guys in makeup. I don't like them. No. They're I don't even know if they're men. Same thing with Kiss. They're leaning on their makeup and their comic book personality. They don't write real music. The Doors, that's a band. I'm sure guys like Mr. Crosby here, I'm sure thought Kiss was meh. I never liked them.
Absolutely not. But and that's the other thing. Brian S. brings it up. Back then, the idea there were only and this was to Gene's point. Gene said at one point the whole point of Kiss was there were two bands on the planet that you could instantly identify by phonograph: the Beatles and Kiss. Kiss was deliberately designed to mimic what the Beatles did. Each individual had a personality that was immediately visually understood. All four guys had to sing lead. They wanted merch. And all of the things that sort of came with it. They were the
solo albums.
They were the first band it became fashionable to hate.
Yeah, technically.
Which is fucking hilarious. It's hilarious to me.
Hey, Juan,
I can smell Lemmy fart.
Go ahead. And let's say hi to Juan. Let's say to R2, R3 Locking Lot. Let's say hi to Caleb Rappaport, the great Caleb Rappaport of Nerd Halen.
Hey, man.
In the house. All in the house. And just giving you a little preview again. I'm showing two guitars tonight. One is last week's guitar because a lot of people lost service and whatnot. So I'm showing that again. But I'm also brought on a second guitar that has something to do with last week's guitar. So 2 very cool, very rare guitars I'm showing tonight a little later on in the show. Johnny, how about we do the unboxing right now? I have an unboxing of something. Should we do that? Yeah. Sure. So I got this awesome package.
Don't show the address.
No, I took care of that already. I got, it's on the other side. No, I got a really awesome package from Matt Stewart, fan of the show. Really, really, really jazzed because I know some of what's in here. And Matt knows that I collect certain things and I read certain things. So I really want to give a big shout out and a thank you to Matthew Stewart in advance for sending me this box that I'm about to open, which I've partially opened. But let's see.
Pulled a Nesdal, huh?
What? Well, I partially I didn't open it, but I took off part of the tape, so it's like this won't be an all day unwrapping. It's still sealed, but not enough that I could see anything of what's in it. So I didn't want to sit there with there we go. Okay, so this is brand new. Okay, so Johnny, you have a drum roll? Is your machine working? Did you get a replacement battery? No. Okay, so let's see. There it is. Thank you, Paul.
Oh, barely. No, that is mine.
And Matt is in the house. Thank you for this, Matt. So let's look inside. I see already on the top of the box, this is Lita Ford's book, Living Like a Runaway, in hardcover. I love these rock star books. I love books about Ozzy and Kiss and all the biographies and autobiographies. Motley Crue's The Dirt was one of my favorite books ever. I could read it 100 times. But this is Lita Ford's new book. I have not read it yet. I am dying to read it. So really, really cool. And I really appreciate that, Matt. In hardcover, Lita Ford, Living Like a Runaway. This should be very cool. I've read excerpts from it online. Should really, really be very cool. I'm jazzed about that. Let's see. Here's another biography. This one not about a rock star, but same time period. So I'm cool with it. The Filthy Truth by Andrew Dice Clay. Now, I'm a little more reserved, so I'm not really into dirty humor, as you probably all know. So
what?
This may offend my delicate sensibilities. My cherry may pop under the stress. But I definitely appreciate that because I will read this and I will enjoy it. And you know I love dirty humor so much. So thank you so much.
You'll read that on the toilet.
I'm surprised these pages aren't sticking together. Actually, there we go.
Not yet.
Yeah, Andrew Dice Clay, Hickory Dickory Dock. Boy, he fell from grace fast, right, Johnny? He was a one-trick pony. He was a cool trick at the time. You know, all the nursery rhymes, the dirty nursery rhymes. That was pretty cool at the time. This one I've been waiting forever to read. I'm so glad you got me a copy of this. Sebastian Bach's autobiography, 18 in Life on Skid Row, hardcover, baby. And look at how thick that is. Thicker than my poor little pee-pee. And I have wanted to read this one for the longest time, man. So thank you for that. And, I think Sebastian is one of like the great 80s frontmen. There's certain frontmen in the 80s that really stand out. I mean, obviously David Lee Roth, John Bon Jovi, Bret Michaels. I really think Sebastian Bach is like right up there as far as frontmen who like hold an audience attention. And really, I mean, the guy's, he's my height. He's 6'4". Again, a big presence on stage that the audience just can't seem to let go of. So I've been wanting to read this one for a while. So I'm so jazzed. This one's probably going right to the top of the pile. Right there.
Awesome.
Right there. And there's one more.
How heavy is that box?
This is the last one. This is the last one. I know there's a second box on the way. And I don't know what's in that one, but This is the last of the first box, and this one I'm also really jazzed to read. David Lee Roth, Crazy from the Heat. Again, hardcover. How can you go wrong with Diamond Dave? I mean, really? Come on now. I wish that all could be California girl. Look at that. What a great, I love this photo. I mean, all these photos. Here's Dave playing with panties, and here's a girl pulling Dave's pants down on stage. Don't we all want to live that fantasy?
Of hers or his?
Of his. Yeah, right now, Dave's Depends are probably being pulled down right now. And listen, I'm ready. Anytime someone wants to pull down my pants besides my proctologist, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And thank you,
Susan.
Congratulations, Susan. Thank you for joining. Upgraded membership to the mid-gain package.
Thank you, Susan.
Speaking of package, did you see Dave trying on these panties? There you go.
Yeah.
Quentin James says, "That's my daughter." It's like when Barney tries to eat Fred's Pebbles. Watch me eat Fred's Pebbles. Barney, my daughter! Barney! You thought I meant your cereal, Fred? Oh, Fred, you're a dick.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Barney?
Terrible.
Barney, my shaft! Ah! Yeah, so thank you.
And you
Thank
thought
you, Matt.
your job sucked.
The little creature under the sink. So there you go, man. 4 really cool books. I can't wait to see what's in the second box.
You went to the library?
No, this is from Matt Stewart. This is a gift from Matt Stewart, fan of the show.
Let me see those again.
All right, so we got David Lee Roth's Crazy from the Heat hardcover.
That's without the little
Without the dust jacket, but it's
paper
free.
dust jacket. Yeah,
but
who
it's
cares?
free. That's it's a gift is a gift, baby.
Let's just assume for a moment that John can read.
Listen, Dr. Seuss and I are good friends. Sebastian Bach, 18 in Life biography. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, no.
And Andrew Dice Clay.
Oh,
Hickory dickory dock.
yeah. By the way, fun fact: Andrew Dice Clay, fantastic drummer.
Oh, really? That
Yes,
I did not know.
Fantastic drummer.
I was not aware of this. And Lita Ford's Living Like a Runaway, another one I've been looking forward to reading.
I have that. Read it. It's pretty good.
I do now.
Johnny will
Matt
be
Stewart.
Johnny will be happy to know that there is a passage in the book where Alita talks about banging Eddie Van Halen on the floor of her bathroom, I think.
Which will be very cool. I'm sure there's a lot about her and Chris Holmes.
Yeah, there's a lot about her. There's a lot about her, and a lot. Lita was passed around the Sunset Strip like a
joint,
like a bad cold. Yeah, she had one of the big
vaginas.
One of the big
now
untruths or rumors or fables in that book is that she was allegedly offered the bass player slot in Led Zeppelin.
This book opens just like Lita's legs.
I don't think Lita. Lita understood that at the time that Robert Plant was trying to woo her, that he was trying to bang her. Although he's not her type. Robert likes Middle Eastern women.
Listen, Lita's beautiful.
In the 70s.
Lita's beautiful, and she kicks ass. That's what I love about this woman.
Johnny, there was music before Van Halen and the Police and Duran Duran.
What?
Yes, I know. Before you were you were a test tube baby in the laboratory of Dr. Desmond Child.
I actually was.
There were these bands that played this place called the Sunset Strip in the 70s. One of which was a band called the Runaways, which featured teenage girls, one of which was one Miss Lita Ford, who would hang out at a place called Bingenheimer's, which was Rodney's little bar within a bar. And there was a velvet rope area. Behind said velvet rope were the guys in Led Zeppelin. And at the time, in 1977, a band called the Runaways had a record coming out. And so they were occasionally hobnobbing with some of the bands like Led Zeppelin in Bingenheimer's bar. At that time, Robert Plant tried to bang Lita Ford, and she interpreted it by, when he asked if she could play bass, that she was being offered the bass player slot in Led Zeppelin because Lita Ford, God love her, and God knows I do.
I do too. She's awesome.
Was very, very gullible early on, as were all of the Runaways, which is what allowed Kim Fowley to completely take advantage of that.
And take advantage they did.
Yeah, Kim was a bad human being.
What's really great is I got these books not just for free, which is my favorite four-letter word, but I also didn't have to walk into a library and go, hey, do you have that book about from Lita Ford? Hello, Daddy, hello, Mom, I'm your Jerry Bob. Do you have that book? I can imagine the scene I'd cause in a library if I asked for that. So I'm really happy and grateful that that these books came my way. So thank you very, very much. I'm really jazzed, and I will be reading them on the potty, which is my favorite place to hang.
That's cool, man.
Very
the potty.
Cool. The ye old potty.
I've got a quick unboxing too, actually.
Cool.
I just somebody just
Everyone's unboxed this box.
Oh wow.
What the hell?
Wow.
What was that? Broken glass? What did you get? Broken glass?
That's what I got.
Well, isolated. I can't see it.
I open the can.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Oh, there's some in there.
Open the can.
I can only imagine. Johnny's nuts around. Get those nuts in your mouth, Johnny. Get those nuts in your mouth.
Look right at the top of the can when you open it.
Wow.
Suddenly the show's going to go offline.
Oh my God.
It's that flying dildo.
Who would have guessed that?
It really does look like that floppy flying dildo.
There you go.
Hello, Daddy. Hello, Mom. It's Johnny's flying dong.
Oh my gosh. No, seriously, I haven't opened this thing in 20 years.
Well, I'm sorry to hear your sex life has fallen from grace, but
to be honest with you, but based on the response of the spring of that snake, you can tell. It's been jamming that camera. It wasn't exactly the most surprising entrance.
No. It's been sitting up there the past month.
Hilarious.
Waka waka, look, dead fish, squirting flour, fart joke. Yes, leave a thumbs up for the quality of this show.
Yeah.
Before I do my kazoo solo, of course.
Answering Tubin, the Les Paul hunt is going well. Thanks for asking.
Paulie's always on a Les Paul hunt.
Always, I love Les Paul guitars. Always have, always will. Have one. I have one coming in from Japan that was made by a company called Greco, who is the same company that made this one.
What's that doing back there?
That's my FGN Fujigen, also known as Orville, also known as Greco, also known as occasionally Tokai. I have a Japanese Greco coming in, a Japanese Greco Ace Frehley from 1979 that I found online, but it's stuck in customs right now.
And for those of you that are saying, "Oh, but that's not a Gibson," neither was Slash's Les Paul on the first Guns N' Roses record.
Technically, it is a Gibson because Gibson contracted for Fujigen to make those in the 90s, 80s, and 90s. The Orville Les Paul in Japan is a Gibson. It's Gibson's Japanese factory. Technically, that guitar was built based upon the plans and specifications of Gibson's musical instrument company. The thing about it is when they stopped making Orville guitars, Fujigen said, well, fuck it. We're just going to put our own name on it, kind of like Ernie Ball with the Axis. So the way the Ernie Ball Axis is related to the Eddie Van Halen model from Ernie Ball is the exact same way that Fujigen is related to Gibson. It's made from the same specs, made out of the same thing. And in fact, this has vintage Gibson pickups in it. So Gibson T-top pickups from the 1970s. So that guitar is as good as any American Les Paul you will ever find. It would put it against that anytime, any place. It's built as good as an American Les Paul, and is every bit as legitimate as Slash's and many others. There are a lot of these guitar guys who have these guitars. George Lynch is a great example, where the guitar wasn't in fact an ESP, but they had to put the logo on it because that's his endorsement. A lot of the guitars that you see your favorite guitar players play, Fender Stratocasters, are not Fender Stratocasters. They're either ESP or Tokai or the best made version of that guitar, or they're put together out of parts and they slap the logo on it. And because the logo is on it, you go, I must have that guitar.
Yeah, the Kramer 5150. You couldn't buy those.
Right.
Sure.
You know?
And by the way, speaking of Lynch and Les Paul's, great segue. George Lynch recently, who renamed the band Lynch Mob, George Lynch and the Electric Freedom. That's the official. That's the official.
I got to go back for a second. Miles Taylor. Yes, I know Chris Derrick made Slash's Les Paul, but Fujigen's is actually more legitimate than Chris Derrick's. Chris Derrick's was a definite pirate, whereas Fujigen was a licensed replica or a licensed edition. So I would say Fujigen's guitar, top to bottom, is probably better built than Chris Derrick's was.
And thank you, Kurt 5150. I was thinking the same thing. Anyway, I was starting to say George Lynch with his new band, the Electric Freedom, which is basically the new name for Lynch Mob after we decided it wasn't as socially acceptable a name as it used to be. He's going with the Electric Freedom. He recently was playing a show using a black Les Paul. And I've known him to play odd guitars before for him, like, PRS. He has 2 PRSs he's played before, but he does also like the Les Paul. There is a Les Paul for everybody. Even if your other main guitars are,
It's an age thing. At some point, we all grow up and realize that every guitar every guitar that's ever been made is a variation off of 3 guitars: the Telecaster, the Stratocaster, and the Les Paul.
That's
so
true.
Every electric guitar is a variant. Solid body electric guitar is a variant of those guitars.
The Music Man Eddie Van Halen is all 3.
Yes, it's exactly it really is. Yeah, technically it's all of the same ideas. It all comes down to you only need 3 guitars in your arsenal. You need a Tele, you need a Strat, and you need a Les Paul. And even if you have a Les Paul that has coil splitting pickups that tries to approximates the Tele sound, it's different. That slab of wood with a neck and the Tele pickup setup is different than mahogany with a maple top. You won't get the same tone out of it. 3 guitars are where it all comes from. And when you get to a certain age, you realize pointy guitars are cool, they're awesome, but they're a variation off of the Strat.
This guy has all of them.
Yeah, I know. What are you talking? You only need 3 guitars. I got over 300. What the fuck?
The Explorer,
and what do you mean I need to grow up?
I
sleep with a stuffed rhino. What are you talking about, Have you seen me, Paulie?
Robot Master Switch, the Explorer, and the Flying V were experiments that originally failed. Keep that in mind. Those guitars failed originally, both of them. And the Les Paul was the winner in that argument. And it wasn't until after the SG became a hit in '61 that they brought the Flying V and the Explorer back. And all a Flying V and an Explorer are bigger or different exotic shapes. They both sound like SGs. If you want an SG sound, but you want a bigger body, get an Explorer. If you want an SG sound and you want a cooler shape, get a Flying V. But they're both basically variants on the SG because they're, straight up mahogany bodies with no maple cap on them. So,
and I will point out that tonight's show and tell guitars,
the Les Paul yes, you're right. How Les Paul did fail after 5 years. It didn't fail in the beginning. From 52 to 59, the Les Paul was a very popular guitar. In 1959, it started to slip. In 1960, they decided, okay, we got to change the thing. But the Les Paul was very popular.
The 60. I love the 60.
Because of the thinner neck.
I like the thin necks.
Yep. The Les Paul was not a failure until people got tired of it in 1959 which is hilarious given the fact that a 1959 Les Paul is the most coveted guitar on the planet. A 59 Les Paul.
Well, I don't know about that. I will say tonight's two guitars I brought on are not a Tele, a Stratocaster, or a Les Paul. So you don't just need three guitars. I have others that I do need.
Yeah, if we're going to get into that history there, I'll set it straight real quick. From 1952 through 1959, the Les Paul was a very popular guitar. 1959, people stopped buying them. They didn't care anymore because the Stratocaster was kicking the shit out of it because it was a sleeker, lighter instrument. So Gibson decided, okay, we need to build a guitar that's more like the Stratocaster. So they redesigned the Les Paul and called it the Les Paul SG, solid guitar. Les was going through a divorce at the time, also not a big fan of the design of the guitar, and decided he wanted his name taken off of it. So 2 years later, after they ran out of Les Paul nameplates, they took Les Paul's name off the guitar. So there are 2 years, actually 3 years, where the Les Paul was actually an SG with Les Paul's name on it, 61, 62, and 63. After that, in 1963 forward, it was the Les Paul was no longer in production. It was just the SG, and that's what gave rise to the 1958, 59 Explorers and Flying V's being failures. They were trying to come out with those while the Les Paul was failing, while the Les Paul was lagging in popularity. So they tried to come up with a couple of different models that would keep up with the Fender Stratocaster. They didn't work. The SG was the right answer. Then in the mid 60s, late 60s, guys like Clapton and Mike Bloomfield and Peter Green and Keith Richards started showing up with all those old, and some guy named Jimmy Page started showing up with those old late 58 to 60 Les Pauls. They became popular again. And in 1969, they reintroduced the model, and it's been the most popular guitar on the planet, if not the most unaffordable guitar. But the best-selling guitar that Gibson has in their lineup is the SG, and it has been since 1961.
It's sad.
Here ends the lesson.
It's sad because, and thank you for the lesson.
No, they're not variants of the SG, Robbie. They were
no.
They were attempts. To create the Les G, the SG, Les G. Oh, that works. In 58, 57, and 58, they were already seeing sales of the Les Paul starting to decline, so they released the Flying V, and they released another one called the Modern, which never really worked.
And it sucked so bad.
Yeah, they released all three of those guitars in an effort to try and create guitars that were more futuristic in shape and lighter in weight so they could compete with the Stratocaster, and they all failed miserably until they hit with the SG.
You know what goes really great with those guitars though, Paulie? Swiss picks.
Cocaine?
Swiss picks, the greatest picks on earth. Light, friendly, and what a grip. Just get your fingers in those holes. And boy, Swiss picks are so terrific. Swiss picks for the grip that you want. Get a hold of Swiss picks. And look, even a blue one for our buddy. Who is it? Come on, Johnny.
Jason Becker.
Jason Becker, blue cheese edition. Correct. And they got Rusty Cooley. They got pink. They got a glow in the dark. Check out and get a grip on some Swiss picks and try these with your Telecaster, Stratocaster, or Les Paul. Swiss picks.
Now, that said, some guy named Eddie Van Halen changed the game when he slapped a humbucker, successfully put together a humbucker and a Stratocaster body and reinvented the guitar and invented the Super Strat.
Absolutely.
And that's where the next level, remember, Eddie was looking for the Les Paul sound, the fatness and the sound of a Les Paul in a guitar that was much lighter and easier to maneuver like a Stratocaster. He liked the feel of the Strat, but the sound of the Les Paul. And what did he do? He changed the fucking guitar world by inventing the Super Strat.
And that's yet another thing we owe Eddie Van Halen, among many. And it just proves the fact, Paulie, that you don't just need three guitars. You need more. Because it wasn't enough for Eddie.
Well, and that to that point, having a Super Strat. And if you're going to buy a Super Strat, the one to own is an Ibanez Gem. Jesus Christ, what a guitar.
Absolutely a game changer, man.
What a guitar. I mean, Eddie might have invented the Super Strat, but Steve Vai perfected it.
Oh, yeah. That probably is the greatest Super Strat to this day. I have to say,
without a doubt. You can't.
I bought one right out. I bought one right out of the gate. I bought a Loch Ness Green Gem 777. Never regretted it for a day in my life. Still don't.
No, you can't. I mean, they get every sound of every guitar. If you can only buy one guitar that gets every sound that is capable to be made in a guitar, it's an Ibanez Gem.
And if you're Steve Vai, you can make it sound really good.
Yes. Yeah. And if you're anybody but Steve Vai, I mean, Harry Cody looked good with one in his hands, but it's Steve Vai's thing.
Oh, look, I look great with one in my hands. I just can't play it that well. I butcher stuff on it, but it looks good. It's a good looking guitar.
Yeah.
And those my actual favorite Strat is the BC Rich Gunslinger, because I have a lot of them. And
they're
maple
all great.
neck, one humbucker pickup, one volume, all business, pointy headstock. Love the things. Those are terrific. So let's see. Let's transition to let's talk about the new Van Halen video. And I say new Van Halen video because this was just unearthed. And to all of us, this is brand new, and this is golden. For those that haven't been paying attention, Van Halen appeared on a Italian TV show and did a video for "So This Is Love," and they did it in basically an Italian dinosaur replica park. So there's
weird.
Life-size brontosaurus, life-size triceratops. There's a caveman and cavewoman in there. There's a T-Rex in there, and it's basically Van Halen, and they're doing like a mock live play of the song. Dave's mouthing the words and whatever. But at some point, I mean, the boys are playing it. You're just hearing the recording. But it's really cool to see this video. The only exception I have is I have never seen the outline of a man's penis in pants as much as I have David Lee Roth in this fucking video. He's wearing these white stretch pants, and I could see every bump and vein on his schlong. And it's not pleasing to the eye for me, but hey, it's Van Halen, and we get to see a lot of cool footage. So check that out. What do you guys think of that?
Well, myself, I've
loved Dave's penis.
I've known about whatever this was for a long time, and I've always wondered what it was.
What became of it?
Well, yeah. I mean, the thing is, the Inside magazine, the Van Halen fan magazine, put this out in 1995. Mm-hmm. Saying, hey, here's some unreleased pictures of a video that never came out. And for years, us nerds, and I talked about this a couple days ago.
Johnny, I'm sorry, John. Do you have a link to the video that you could put in there?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Exclamation point VH81. We'll do it.
Okay.
Take
just because Susan Silvestri is asking for a link in the chat. I'm sure a lot of people in the chat want a direct link to this video because it is worth watching. There you go.
There it is. There it is.
Thanks,
but yeah, we've wondered, us nerds have wondered for literally
years,
decades, literally. Oh, Ned's trying to get out.
Gotta get laid. Gotta get laid.
But we never would have guessed it was "So This Is Love." We never would have guessed that. Although that was a single at the time, so it makes sense now.
I love the spelling.
Yeah. Oh, Halen.
Halen, Van Halen.
Yeah. Van Halen.
So this is love, and this is spelling.
By the way, I have to answer a question quick because I can't do this on YouTube because I can't sign in. Mr. Hellstorm asks, "What's the difference between Guild and Gibson Les Pauls?" The Gibson came first, and the Guild is not the same exact body shape. But the Guild is a good guitar. He's talking about the M75 Bluesbird or M75 Artist or whatever it was when they came out in the 50s. Look, the single cut is not a unique body shape. I mean, they were single cuts. The Birdland, a lot of these other guitar companies, jazz guitars, were hollow-bodied single cuts, and that shape existed long before Gibson put it out. When Ted McCarty really designed it, not Les Paul, even though he tries to take credit for it. and they were just the difference is the Guild is a good guitar, but they didn't have the kind of marketing or the kind of corporate power that Gibson had at the time. Guild guitars were great for their day, but they went under pretty quick. Gibson crushed everybody.
Speaking of single
ending
cut,
that, sorry.
Speaking of single cut, thanks to this video, we definitely know that David Lee Roth is both Jewish and circumcised. So there you go, definitely. And there's one scene where he's like riding the Brontosaurus tail, and it's just pronouncing his bulge even more to the camera. And a lot of outline there, a lot of outline on the boy.
Yes, he's there's nothing left to the imagination there.
Susan thinks he stuffed his pants with a sock. Susan, I don't see where you'd see the sock. I mean, I don't see where. I mean, it's not like he's hiding anything. That's probably why the thing never got aired either.
Well, I think it did get aired.
Did it?
But yeah, but it wasn't.
It wasn't distributed and shown multiple times.
And actually, the guy that uploaded this, he tagged me in a tweet. So I was all of a sudden I get tagged and I look and I'm seeing the video and I can't believe what I'm seeing. Not because of
Dave's penis. Oh
yeah, not because of that. Just because
I can't say Dave's penis. You can't say Dave's penis.
Say it, Johnny. Say it out loud. Say David Lee Roth's penis. And say with an echo. Say with an echo, so it's like penis, enos, 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 penis, enos, enos, enos.
David Lee cock.
Oh.
David Lee rock hard penis.
Oh
Go on, Johnny. Say David Lee Roth's penis just for a moment.
David Lee Roth's junk.
No, you didn't say it. You say
no,
penis. Penis. Say the word penis, Johnny.
No.
The scientific term is penis. David Lee Roth's what, Johnny?
Stuff.
Oh, no, he did not stuff. You could tell. That's his real deal. You really can't say it, can you?
Wow.
Yeah.
You know. But no. So anyway, I've known about this video for a long time.
You can't say it. You can't say it.
Well, I don't need to say it.
I want to do Sam Kinison.
Blue Rhino, what did you see in the video, Blue Rhino? David Lee Roth's penis. Johnny, Blue Rhino could say it.
Would you say the Johnny Beane says schmeckle?
That's funny. The Johnny Beane speak and spell. The Johnny Beane says junk.
The Johnny Beane says yuck.
Yuck. Oh, God.
Gross.
Gosh.
Unbelievable.
Gosh. Johnny, say the word penis just so we have it. Just so we have it once. Because that's your new ringtone.
Yeah, that'd be the problem. Yeah.
Johnny's calling. David Lee Roth's penis. David Lee Roth's penis. David Lee Roth's penis. David Lee Roth's penis. Oh, it's Johnny Beane. Or Johnny Peen.
Yeah. Venus.
The penis. Yeah, so Dave's riding high on that Schwanson of his.
Yeah.
John BL's in the chat. He's afraid I'll sample it. Penis.
Yeah.
Penis. David Lee Roth's penis. Johnny, just say it one time.
Johnny, Johnny, you gonna run
penis?
John, are you going to run for president? Is there any reason why you're afraid of words?
Yeah, you realize you appear on the show every Tuesday night with a parental warning sticker on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's for you. That's not for me.
I know it's for me. Believe me.
Whose channel is this?
Yeah.
Yeah. Whose lights are changing every time money rolls in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. I mean, it's just, you know.
Let me ask in the chat, if you could hear Johnny Beane say one word tonight, what word would it be? I want to hear from the chat. Let's see. What word would you want to see Johnny? Yeah. What word would you want to see Johnny say? Let's see. Oh, Lenny Lou is, by the way, Lenny Lou just gave $5 to hear you say it. And she said, Mary's dying. We know, but I still want to F her even with her last breath. And watching that video, Mary and Lenny Lou were double ending that dildo and just watching David Lee Roth's penis. Come on. Okay, let's see. The words are coming in.
Penis. Rosebud.
Our buddy Cobra Kai Platoon, master of graphics, wants to hear Johnny sing the vagina song I sang tonight. I think Brian Davies says it's like watching the Osmonds arguing. That's great. Sandra wants to hear Johnny sing the Picorni song.
It's stunning to me. It's stunning to me that Johnny can't say the word penis.
Thank you, Tubin One, who wants to know where are my effing picks, Sweetwater.
You guys
ordered Swiss picks.
Yeah, where are those guitar picks?
Mm-hmm. Well, Swiss picks are what matters. Those are the ones that we care about here.
It's been like 4 months.
Come on, Johnny, just say penis once. Just say David Lee Roth's penis. One sentence, just for the audience. Do it for the fans.
Johnny, I've got to have it. I've got to have it. Penis!
How many out there want to think Johnny Beane say David Lee Roth's penis?
Here's what I'll do.
Do to David Lee Roth. do his penis.
What I'll do for channel members is the next channel member.
Everyone else do this.
I'll say it.
The next channel member stream. So what does
so
that mean?
That means you have to be a channel member to see that video.
I see what he did there.
If someone right now,
get it? See what he did there? Penis member.
So if someone right now you're saying joins as a channel member, you will say that sentence clear as a bell, loud and clear. I'm ready to join. I'm going to join the damn channel. Hold on. Okay, somebody in the audience, for all of us, take the bullet. Join as a channel member right this moment, right this minute, because we need this. We absolutely need. Nothing will pop Johnny's cherry like hearing him say David Lee Roth's penis. And Johnny's sweating right now. Please, nobody join. Nobody join. Please,
ladies and gentlemen,
anyone join as a channel.
The very old
please.
and tired and fat and arthritic Lemmy making her way into the room. She's all happy. Did you hear
I just wanted to see Johnny say penis.
I love you too, baby girl. I love you too.
Somebody join the channel quickly. I hope someone's filling it out right now. Oh, Murph Murphy, welcome to the Frank Starter package of the channel. Thank you, Murph Murphy. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. Let me give you a drum roll, Johnny. Here it comes. Everyone get ready. Johnny Beane quoting.
Huh?
Oh, hold on.
No.
He's only going to say
what I
it.
said.
Lenny Lou,
he's going to do a
Lou has a membership
video.
Lenny Lou just signed as a member too. Another package, top of the world package, which means she's sitting on an avocado.
He won't.
All right, hold on. Let's get this drum roll going.
Johnny, we're more likely to get a new Guns N' Roses album before
Johnny. Johnny made a promise, and two people joined.
That wasn't the
That's
promise.
not what the promise. The promise is
my next
stream. He'll do a stream for channel members.
My next channel member stream, which I do. I'll say it.
Johnny, this is
you have to be a member.
This is the show to say it. This is the show to say. You just had 2 memberships join. Don't disappoint the fans on a Tuesday night. Come on, you just made a.
They're not going to. No, the 2 people that joined. They're not going to be disappointed because they're going to hear.
They're very disappointed.
They're going to hear it. It'll be exclusive to them.
I know everyone in the chat right now is waiting to hear it because you made a promise, Johnny. You said someone joins as a channel member, you will say it right now, and here you are. Come on, Johnny. Everyone's waiting.
What I said.
Everyone, yes, it is.
That's not what I said.
Yes,
I said I'll do it in a channel member video.
I stopped caring minutes ago. I could give a fuck less. I really don't give a shit.
2 hours
it's not
ago.
That important.
Look at everyone in the chat. Joe Hervey, everyone in the chat. Dane Zimmerman, look at this. Johnny's about to have a coronary. The vein in his forehead is about to pop that he has to say it. Come on, Johnny. Everybody is waiting for you to say this right now.
Who cares?
Come on, Johnny.
Who gives a shit?
Just
This is a blatant attempt. Pay attention to me. I'm not going to say a word.
Johnny's making so much money from this. This is like a grift. Look at this.
It's a total grift.
Johnny's making a fortune.
I don't even know what that means.
It means you're scamming, you bastard.
You won't say penis. You don't know what a grift is.
Come on, Johnny. Look at the chat. Everyone in the chat is saying, Johnny said, you got money pouring in. Come on, Johnny. Do it for the fans.
And a nominal fee.
You just got your nominal fee. You got more than a nominal fee. Everyone, look at that. The whole chat is demanding to hear you say that.
Can we get 100 thumbs ups right now?
I couldn't give a shit less.
Come on. Oh, I could give a shit very much.
In fact, I'm out in 2 minutes. So, if he says it, I'll tell you what. If I leave, Johnny, will you promise to say it?
Johnny, you already promised to say it. Look at the chat. Everyone in the audience wants you to say it.
Not everyone. By the way, yeah,
my mom's right now. Oh, Johnny, please say it already.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. David Shea Gomery's got a good point. Hold the show and tell guitar hostage.
Oh, there you go.
You know what? I'm on strike until Johnny says penis.
Yeah. Johnny's holding up the show. And he made a bundle of money that Paulie and I aren't seeing. You got paid for this, Johnny. You're getting paid from the audience right now to say David Lee Roth's penis.
That whole sentence?
Yes. That's what you said. That's what everyone's waiting for. Look at the chat. Everyone is freaking pouring money in, leaving likes. Everyone's demanding it. Johnny, one sentence for the audience. Prove that you love the audience like Paulie and I do. Come on.
Can I get some water first?
Yeah. Well, we want to hear it loud and clear, so sure. Wet your whistle, man. Wet your whistle. The whole internet is waiting for this.
Oh,
This is like that moment in Horton Hears a Who. We're here. Peep, peep, peep. Boil that dust speck. Come on. This is the moment, Johnny. We are all waiting for this moment. For the fans, Johnny.
okay. Well, I mean, that's not originally what I said. Is I would do it in a channel member video.
Beane, for the fans, please.
All right. David Lee Roth's peanuts. There we go. Thank you.
You're such a piece of shit.
I said it.
He can't do it.
I said it.
Paulie, do you believe this? Johnny, spotlight him so we can see this. Johnny, what's that word? I can't see it. Can you read it to me?
Peanuts.
No. I think you're pronouncing it wrong.
Peanuts.
Johnny, you promised the audience. Come on. Johnny, the whole audience is waiting to hear you say the word.
Thank you, Charles Green.
Like a virgin. Johnny saying penis for the very first time.
Charles, tomorrow's the day, man.
Charles doesn't care. He wants to talk about penis.
Peanuts.
Oh, come on, Johnny. Jesus. Jeff T says, say it 3 times and Ron Jeremy will suddenly appear in your mirror. It's like Beetlejuice. Penis. You rang?
That's right, KXM Rock.
Come on, Johnny. You had members join, you had thumbs up, you had cash deposits. Just say it for the fans. Just the one word. Oh, dear, my penis. I certainly do love a good penis, you know.
There we go. I said it.
What do you think, Paulie? Did you hear that as penis? I don't know. What do you guys in the chat think?
I think he slipped a T in there, but
I don't know. We got to go to the videotape. Yeah, you're supposed to say it clearly, Johnny. Just penis. 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 Just like the Pen 15 Club that Jay Hannon started. No, I think that was a meh version of
Kirk heard it. Kurt, he heard it.
Kai Matthews says not good enough. Come on, Jesus rapes me. Says Johnny, make it sound like it's in your throat. Yes, penis. Penis.
Laguna Farms heard it
from the throat. Yeah, I know. Dan of New Jersey. This is killing Johnny. I'd love to hear Johnny say penis.
Bye, Paul.
Come on, man.
Paul
Good night,
left.
Paulie. Good night, Paulie. Well, Paulie said he was leaving at that moment. Yeah. A lot of people in the chat are waiting for you to say penis, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta say it more clearly, really.
Mm-hmm.
For the fans, Johnny. For the fans. For the fans. Oh wait. Shit. Geez, I just screwed this up.
Uh-oh.
I just unsubscribed from the channel accidentally. All right, hold on. This is, no, wait. Okay, hold on. Get my chat back. God damn it. See, Johnny, see what you're doing to me here? Why did that? Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, hold on. I just lost my chat, of course. Hold on. Let's see. There we go. I should be back now, right? Hold on. And are we back? Come on. See, Johnny, see what you do? The audience just wanted to hear peanut. All right, there we go. Come on, Johnny. Look at the chat. They're all waiting with bated breath for the word to roll off your mouth like jizz down your tongue. Say it in Francais. Le penis. Le penis, Mr. Beane. Le penis.
Rico B, I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, yes, he does. Yes, he does. All right. Well, listen, leave comments in the video because Johnny is not cooperating with what the audience wants. He's not giving the audience what they want. Yeah,
I said it.
You didn't really say
I said it, but I also said on my next channel member stream, which is member only.
Come on.
I'll say it again.
Come on. Everyone was donating money. Everyone's leaving thumbs up. Come on, Johnny. Just do it once for the fans. The word appears 1,000 times on the on every episode. So what are you worried about? One time for the fans. David Lee Roth's what?
Peanuts.
Ah, come on, Johnny. You're disappointing the fans. What are you doing? We're all waiting for Johnny to say the scientific word for dong, for schlong, for wee-wee, for dick, for cock, for shaft. Johnny, please say penis just once.
Peanuts.
Oh, like a little school kid. Jesus. Can you say vagina?
Vagina.
Vagina. Vagina. Johnny almost choked on the word. Vagina. All right. Anyway, let's get on to music news. Actually, while we're here, I'm gonna show show two of the show and tell guitars right now. Since we've been keeping everyone in suspense while Johnny tries to get grips with his dignity there. Last week I brought on a very, very, very rare Ibanez for show and tell. It was the Ibanez. For those that didn't watch last week, it was the Ibanez. It was the Ibanez Reb Beach WRB3, one of the rarest Ibanez ever made. It is the Reb Beach Signature Edition. It is with the Winger Sahara graphic. And I had this on last week, but a lot of people had technical problems, so I brought this on as well. But this is one of two guitars I have on today, just because I wanted everyone to get a chance to see this, because this is a very, very rarely seen guitar. It's got the Winger Sahara graphic. For those that don't know, Sahara was the name of the first incarnation of Winger was named Sahara. And this was the graphic off of the Winger album, styled like. It's got an ebony board and, again, a special neck designed and spec'd out for Reb, which is very thin. And unlike any other Ibanez neck on the other Ibanez guitars, it's a bolt-on. This was a limited number of 100 guitars. They only made 100 of them, and they were all sold in Japan for 1 year. So it's very, very hard to find one of these. Reb had 3 of them. He had 2 with the graphic and 1 that he repainted red for a total of 3. They're almost non-existent. I've looked for years and years and years before I actually found one. It's kind of like a variation on an Explorer, but sleeker and with a long front horn. Very, very, very similar to the Skolnick.
I know Skolnick.
Yes, you do. Let's see.
Thank you all, Dave.
Thank you all, Dave. Welcome to the mild mid-gain package.
Mid-gain.
The big groin package. Is that what that says? Big groin package? Anyway, so Ibanez WRB3, signature guitar of Reb Beach. During the first album, only 100 made, not all survived, only sold in Japan. You will almost never, ever, ever see these. This one, luckily, is gem mint. A lot of them have the colors faded or something scratching off the front, something like that. Ebony board, plays like a fucking dream. EMG pickups are standard. And you'll notice, by the way, the pickup configuration, take a look at that. The middle pickup is moved down a bit for Reb's picking style. Do you notice that? Like the spacing, Johnny? You see the spacing isn't even like on other Ibanez or other guitars. It's like right up against the humbucker.
It's a wider spacing
bridge
between the neck and the middle.
Yeah, and it's giving Reb a place for his picking style where he goes. And again, you just don't see these. So this is guitar number 1 of 2. Again, I showed it last week. A lot of people had technical issues. I did not want the audience to miss out because these never, ever, ever show up. And if you're a fan of Winger or Reb Beach, Reb is a really underrated player. Reb in Winger, Reb in Alice Cooper, Reb in Dokken, Reb in Whitesnake. I mean, everybody knows that Reb is a really underrated guitar player. Now people are starting to appreciate him for the skills that he has, but you don't see these. And you saw this in the Hungry video, the Winger Hungry video. And once in a blue moon, one of the red painted ones will pop out. You just don't see them like this. So again, guitar number 1 of 2 tonight. This just for those that missed it. And now I will bring out guitar number 2. And by the way, it came with a form-fitted soft case and a lot of case candy. I have that as well. I really want to make sure that everyone caught a glimpse of that. Now, guitar number 2 tonight. Johnny, you got a drum roll for this fresh one? Oh, look at that thing. Oh boy. All the money in the world, and
Crap.
Johnny can't get a goddamn battery for his sound machine. Jesus. Ah, thank you. Is that Jesus? Oh my God. It's like my mother during the talent show. I'm the only one clapping. Okay, so this is an RBM 2 NT. This is the next signature guitar that Ibanez did for Reb Beach. Almost as rare as the WRB3 that you just saw. This was the limited edition, signed and numbered. This is number 75. I believe there was also 100 of these made as well. And it's basically, it's the Ibanez Voyager, but this is a mahogany body with a koa top and a rosewood neck. And when I say rosewood, I mean solid. Look at this. This is a one-piece rosewood neck. You do not see this anywhere. And again, the neck itself, 2 Reb spec. So rare, so freaking rare. These play like incredible. Reb has such good neck specs. For me anyway, I think it plays amazing. And again, there were different levels of Voyager. You know, the Voyager had a 400 and I think 2 other levels above that. And then they made 100 of these, and you just don't see these out there. They're just, again, 100 sold in Japan, very, very hard to find. And you can see the split between the mahogany and the koa top right there. See the line? It's a thick piece of koa, especially for a top. Usually a top like a maple top or something, you see it's like wafer thin, like less than a cracker. This is a pretty thick. That's like about a 1/2 inch of koa running down there. And the specs on this neck are so comfy. It really feels like a broken in old pair of sneakers. I can't really describe it, but Reb ordered his neck this way. And thank God, because it plays so good. It's so comfy. And it's really neat seeing a full rosewood neck. You just don't see that. You see, you know, the maple neck, 3-piece neck with a rosewood board. This thing is a solid piece of rosewood. I mean, look at that. I mean, imagine trying to get that these days where it's just not available because rosewood, you know, Brazilian rosewood is so scarce. And, you know, Taylor Guitars holds, you know, the rosewood to a certain amount and opens up the quality doors to pretty much anything. Same with the ebony. Now you got ebony with streaks rather than that really black ebony. Rosewood, really good quality rosewood, is not as accessible now as it was back in the day. And, you know, this is 1990, I believe this was made. Or is that, let's see, that one's 90, this one's 91, something to that effect. But they were made right after each other. And this is the guitar that Reb then used for In the Heart of the Young album. And I believe also on the Pole album, the third Winger album. You know, full rosewood headstock, gold tuners on the back, all gold hardware on this baby. Very, very cool. And again, always nice to see a lot of the signatures rub off. So it's really like I do in the morning or in the shower. It's really nice to see, you know, a signature and number intact on these. Really cool. There's that. And let's see. Lizard King's vinyl. Let's see. And no, Brian S., it's not a wizard neck. These necks were made to Reb specs. It's not a vine neck. It's not a standard neck available on any other Ivy. Let's see. Just gonna go
we see
back
you
a little bit. Yeah, I'm just scanning to see if I missed a comment.
He's just saying if he's visible.
Oh yeah, no, you're
Lizard
visible,
King's
bro.
live
You're
vinyl.
visible.
Yeah, we see you.
I thought he had a question about the Reb. Do I have any Fender? Do I have many Fenders or Gibsons? I have one Fender Stratocaster, which was my first guitar, and I have 4 Les Pauls, but that's pretty much it. I'm really finicky about those particular guitars. I'm more of a I'm more into some of the other brands, BC Rich, Ibanez, Jackson, Charvel, Kramer, ESP. I prefer those brands. But yeah, I mean, if I can bond with a Les Paul or a Fender Strat, it's rare, but when I do, I do pick them up. Denham, New Jersey says, is it oiled? Yeah, it's oiled. It's smooth and very, very, very fast. There we go. Now I'm caught up. It's very fast. Of course, you see this really cool cutaway, which you see the trem peeking out of there. It gave Reb a lot more space to pull back with nothing holding it back, and that's really cool for the Floyd. And EMG pickups again. This one doesn't have the spacing configuration of his first one, but I lower the middle pickup because it always gets in my way of my picking style. So I always lower the middle pickup, and it plays amazing. I love the hardware. Look how cool the knob is. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. The knob has like these rubber rings around there, almost like 3 little cock rings around the knob. Really cool design. You have a booster switch. You have a 5-way. And again, a reflective little pick guard there. Very cool. Again, I'm very lucky to have one of these. This one's in really nice shape. And again, super, super rare. Reb's signature Ibanez's really among the rarest of all the Ibanez's produced. And they're among the best playing ones. So that's really sucky that, you know, not everyone can get their hands on one or find one, even to try out. Really took me years to find out the both of them. Susan Silvestri says, how much is it worth? Whatever someone's willing to pay, that's what it's worth. Thank you, Renus. And here's a little image of them together just for shits and giggles.
Oh, we need a thumbnail. I forgot.
We sure do. Let's see. How's that, Johnny?
Oh, I gotta find the video.
No.
Hang on.
Let's see. How about that?
Let me search. There we go. All right, got it.
Is that better?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. Yeah. So to see two in one place, it's hard, but I'm really glad to share it with everybody here because I know I have an appreciation for rare stuff and for signature stuff, and I think Reb is a super underrated guitarist. So I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's pair of show and tell guitars. Last week's Ibanez Reb Beach WRB3 with the Sahara graphic, and tonight's RBM2 NT Koa, 2 really rare guitars shared with you because we love you. Those are today's show and tell guitars, Johnny. There we go. Brought to you by Colonel's Gourmet Popcorn. Colonel's delicious gourmet popcorn, sponsor of the show. Go to Colonel's Gourmet Popcorn and more and check out what they have for you. Delicious popcorn. Mention Johnny Beane or Jay Hannon in the show and tell them that we sent you, and you will get more product. Bigger bags of popcorn, some throw-in candy, because they have candy, they have sugar-free candy, they have chocolate, you name it, they got it for your snacking pleasure, as well as FU Tone. You can hot rod your guitars with FU Tone. All your needs are over at FU Tone. You want to hot rod a guitar, you want to add some titanium saddles, you want to add some sweet other accessories, you want some replacement parts, FU Tone will help you find that tone. And also, if you need a kill switch for your guitar, Tessie Switch, nobody makes a kill switch as good as Tessie Switch. Check out Tessie Switch's website for the best kill switches on the market. And of course, I already mentioned Craig Vinum over at Vinum Custom Guitar Pickups. Chase the tone you want with Vinum Custom Pickups. They will get you the tone you want. Tell Greg Vineham we sent you from Talking Guitars and 80s Metal. Tell him John Mancuda sent you, and he will not punch you in the nose. He will get you the tone you want and custom make you some amazing pickups. So there we go. Let's get to some music news, John. Good night, Sandra. Thank you, hon. Let's get to some music news. By the way, if you like those rare Ibanez's, please take a second, hit the like button, hit the thumbs up, smash that thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss an episode. Let's get to some music news while Johnny contemplates how penis rolls off his tongue. The word penis, that is. So let's see. We talked about the new Van Halen videos to This Is Love. Link was in the chat.
That's just one video, by the way. There was 2 other videos that were released yesterday. No,
cool.
Day before. They were like home movies. One of them was Eddie jamming on a Charvel back in 1987, coming up with music which would eventually become the song Amsterdam, which would have been released in 1995. So years before, you know. And then another video was a home movie of Alex Van Halen shaving heads outside 51.
Shaving what?
Heads.
Like David Lee Roth's that was sticking in his pants?
No.
Head on top of your shoulders. Yeah. Okay. I thought dickhead. I'm sorry. The head of his penis and shaving. It all goes together, and you know. Because you didn't see Winter Bush popping out of Dave's low rises, so I assume that was part of it. So a video of Alex shaving fans' heads outside.
No, they're the studio engineer, the assistant engineer. He shaved his head. Actually, he shaved his beard too. And then he shaved. Was it Pat? Was it Patrick?
Shave me a seat for my girl.
David Bertinelli, Valerie's brother. He shaved his head as well.
So he's not just a drummer; he's a barber too. God bless him. And speaking of Alex Van Halen, Johnny, let's go check on the big Van Halen auction going on right now at Julian's Auction House, because there's only a few days left. And I want to see one of Alex Van Halen's most famous drum sets from the Invasion tour is one of the items up for bid, as well as a couple of Van Halen signed and played guitars. And right now, there's the leader. That's the Doodles guitar. That's the guitar that's lot 726. If you go to Julian's Auctions online, that's lot 726. That seems to be the most popular guitar in the auction right now. That's the one that was loaned to Eddie Van Halen, and when he returned it, it was covered in Eddie Van Halen hand-drawn doodles and the signature, and was used as the templates by Grover Jackson for the Charvel Legacy series. That particular neck can be screen matched and identified as the one that Grover used for the Charvel Legacy series. So it has Van Halen history and it has Charvel history. It's a Charvel Pre-Pro from 81. The only hand-drawn Van Halen graphics that they've seen on record right there. And right now, what's it at, Johnny? It's at 32? 32.5. And I think the auction goes off on Saturday. So you guys just might want to watch it because it's fun to see. Scrolling down a little bit, you have a couple of other Van Halen guitars. That one's at $9,000. That one's at $9,000. This is underneath. You have the Rhodes that Eddie Van Halen signed while talking about Randy at the golf tournaments. 2 golf tournaments. He played that briefly and signed it. And the big signature is on the back right there because the one on the front wore off. But that one's at what, 8,000 right now?
Mm-hmm.
And that's very popular. Eddie's license. Here's an item. And again, I have to emphasize the family is endorsing this auction. So some items have part of their pieces going to the Van Halen charity. What is it? The Mr. Opus Foundation.
Mr. Holland's Opus.
Mr. Holland's Opus. Like, I know the sale of the drum set, part of it is going to Mr. Holland's Opus Foundation, which was Eddie's favorite charity, and some of the others. But basically, all these items have been run by the family and approved by the family for the auction, which Alex Van Halen personally has been promoting, if you saw online lately. So don't think Eddie's license is something that the family should have. It's coming from the family. Some of the other guitars are from private collectors like myself, but that license is affordable. What's the license at now, Johnny?
$2,250.
I think that's kind of neat. I think that's a really collectible and interesting item in there. So that's kind of fun. And some of the Van Halen autograph photos, if your budget's a little more towards something like that, there's a couple of those in there. And again, this is Julian's auctions. The auction itself goes off on Saturday, so there's a couple of days left. The big key item in the auction itself is the drum set. And you see there's a pick guard signed by Eddie. There's some merch from Eddie. There's sets of picks, an Eddie bandana, 2 different sets of the Van Halen shoes, which if you're a sneakerhead, go back to those, Johnny. If you're a sneakerhead, those are really, really cool. The both sets of Van Halen sneakers, the real high tops. Mm-hmm. And then you got the other one. So here's a good opportunity to get, nice fresh pair, from the family. I believe those are from another guitar. This one an acoustic. This one's signed by Eddie. And then you're getting into the art series. There's 5 art series guitars right now, and they're all. This is what's interesting to me. They're all different values right now. They're all different at different numbers of values right now. Like this one on screen right now, this one's at $30,000. But you go down one, scroll down to one more, and look where this one is.
Mm-hmm.
See, this one's at 12,000. So if there's ones for all different ranges, if you want one of these Van Halen guitars. This one was played. I don't know where it was played, but I mean, I don't know what they'll go for. But I know right now Music Zoo is selling the Charvel Art Series ones. They have a few up for 60,000. Here's your chance that one's up at 12,000. The others are up at 20 something, 30 something. And sure, they'll probably go higher, and it'll be fun to watch. But I'm very curious to see where they land. And if you're looking for something that slips through the cracks, this may be your chance at getting a little piece of Eddie history. Now, here's the big mother event right here. This came directly from Alex Van Halen's 1980 Invasion Tour played drum kit. This is a really, really famous drum kit. You're not going to get another chance at something like this. This is a big, complete drum kit. Look at this thing. It's at $160,000 right now. Estimate $200,000 to $300,000. I don't know where it'll wind up, but make no mistake. You know the deal with an auction. You watch on the day of the auction, everyone bids at the last minute, and it goes crazy. I think this thing's going to break $300,000. What do you think, Johnny?
I guess it could. Definitely.
Do you think it will? I think it will. I think it's gonna hit at least the top of the estimate. This is a big deal. To have the family get behind an auction is not usually what you see. And to get one of the main things, like, Wolfgang's not going to sell Eddie's main guitars. They're not going to shake loose. Okay.
No.
And the few that are out there, Dweezil Zappa is not going to sell his, this is your chance to get from the family itself, something like this. And this is, it's a historic piece. If you're a drummer or if you're a Van Halen collector, this is basically the family saying, look, this is some stuff. We cleaned out some of the storage. We decided to let certain bigger items go. We decided to let, some merch go and, things like Eddie's license, a few personal effects that we're not keeping. But here's a big recognizable, set of instruments from a major tour. You're not going to get one of Eddie's guitars from a major tour, but the drum set, this is a big deal. I think it's a very big deal.
Mm-hmm.
So at 160 right now, I'm going to watch it and see. It starts at lot 726 and goes up to, I think, lot 740 something, all the Van Halen auction items at Julian's. But I'm curious to see where they wind up. Then scroll down a little further. You have a few more of the Art Series guitars, again, in different price ranges. Here's that yellow one. This one's at $27,500 right now. I mean, look, if you're thinking about one of the ones at Music Zoo for $60,000, you should probably try for these guitars first, because I think they're beautiful. I think they're great. And this one's at $22,500. And personally, I like the red and white colors better than the black and yellows, because, all the black and yellows were modeled after the Bumblebee, which Eddie played briefly, but the red and white seem to be Eddie's big signature color. So this one at $22,500, the Doodles at $32,500. You have, a 1984, original Charvel. All of these red and white ones are my personal favorites. Nothing against the black and yellows. I think they're great. I think they're bargains for what they are. I'm just saying, if given a choice between a yellow and black or a red, white, and black, something like this is like absolutely where I'd rather be. And scroll down one more. Now, this is the one I think they called it the Stealth. And Johnny, you mentioned that this one has a famous photo or two taken with it. I guess it was the last Art Series graphic that they did.
Yeah, it was either the last one they did, or maybe the last one he played. Maybe.
I mean, this one's a mixed bag. I think it's cool looking. I wish it was his main colors, though. That's the only thing I have against it. I wish it was, in the red and white and black, or even the yellow and black family, But I mean, look, cool is cool. I mean, fact is, Eddie played it. Signed by Eddie. Eddie played it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he played it in 2012, I think.
Yeah, and Renus brings up a good point. Alex's stuff does not become available. There's only so much, Eddie had so many guitars over so many things and blah, blah, blah. You have a chance at getting something Eddie signed, which is, look, really what you want. I mean, that's the fact. He's the legend. But, it's cool to get something from Alex too, especially a major tour piece. But going back to the Stealth guitar, I think it's very cool. I think the colored ones are a little more cool personally. And I think price-wise, it reflects it so far, because this one's at $22,500. The red and whites are, in the 30s so far. And again, who knows what'll happen Saturday? Who knows what'll happen when, these auctions actually go off. But they start ending on Friday and Saturday. And check it out. Julian's Auctions website. Bookmark them, watch them, participate if you're interested in stuff. For the Van Halen fan in us, which is all of us, it's cool to see stuff like this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is very, very cool stuff.
And that's it. That's all the new stuff. Then that's just something that was
an
sold
older
earlier.
one.
That's an older one. A Dave sold jacket.
Wow. Man, this
Other
place is a lot of stuff.
Well, those stuff
that
already
one.
sold. Those
There's
stuff
that
already
one.
sold.
I remember that one.
Yeah, one sold. Last auction, the other guitars went for $230,000 and $140,000. So who knows what these will go for? Those two first ones were right after Eddie passed. So it was the heat of the moment. But look, the guy's a legend. Who knows what stuff will go for at auction? You don't know. Will it go as high as those? I don't think so. But look, everyone wants a piece of Van Halen.
Oh, there you
You
go.
know. Well, that's the toy one. So,
No, they
but even
Olivia
the toy one went for 50 grand. I mean, that says something.
Olivia Newton-John trousers.
Yeah, they smell just like her. It's great. It's a scratch and sniff for scratch and sniff.
John Bell, there you go. Bill Wyman's 78 concert shirt.
Nice.
Wonder what that smelled like.
No, I'm afraid to ask. Moving on from Julian's auctions. Let's go through a little news. Jason Becker in the news sent out a friend of the show, guitar legend, and just all around great guy. Jason Becker put out a big note of thanks for his recent charity benefit, which raised a lot of money to help him out with all his ongoing medical bills, which are plentiful. And that doesn't mean you could stop giving to him. You could still give to him, and you could support him also by buying the Jason Becker Blue Cheese Swiss Pick. And, look, all things for Jason are a great cause. But this recent guitar sale and this recent event that, watching live concerts with the money going to Jason, it's really great. And Jason put out a big letter of thank you to all the rock stars that donated guitars, all the people that played the concerts, Herman Lee for hosting on his website. Herman Lee's of what? Dragon Force?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay.
We see him at NAMM. We see him at NAMM all the time.
For hosting those concerts at on his website. And I noticed as Jason was giving thanks, he mentioned our dear personal friend and a personal crush of all of ours, Colleen Gray, in those thank yous, because our friend Colleen, round of applause. Our friend Colleen has gone over and above to help Jason get guitars signed, to get concerts going, to notify people. She has been a huge supporter and helper of raising money for Jason. Her and her other half, who was not, I don't think he was thanked in the letter, but I'm sure he was involved. But look, it's great to see that our awesome Colleen was given thanks for all the help she has given Jason. And thank all of you for out there for supporting all the concerts that went on. That was very cool. Joe Satriani's guitar sold almost immediately. Other players, Paul Stanley donated a guitar. Steve Vai, I believe, donated something. Everyone participated, and it was a really great event. And Jason Becker says thank you. And Jason, we say thank you to you for all the music and love that you give us. So thank you very much. There you go. The great Jason Becker, everybody.
Yeah, love you, Jason.
Love him. Much love. Dokken was talked about recently, and they were interviewing recently members of Dokken, talking about the possibility of one more record with the classic lineup. And when we say the classic lineup, because Don Dokken has his own version right now. Don has John Levin playing guitar.
What is it called?
It's called Dokken. It's called Dokken.
It's not called Don's Dokken.
No, it's not. It's not called Don's Dock or Cockin or anything like that. Or
Don Dokken's Dokken.
Or stuff my pants with a sockin or anything like that. No, look, Dokken, has John Levin as their guitarist, but they're basically Dankin. They're basically planning on getting together a tour, a special event tour with the classic lineup of George Lynch as guitarist, and it's a big deal. But they were pointing out that it's when they did a single with George in 2016 with the classic lineup, It's Another Day, that it was a really, really good tune because the chemistry is still there. The chemistry is still there. And they feel that when they get together, not if, but when, barring schedule conflicts, they believe they have one more really good album left in them that's left unsung. So we're hoping that as this comes to fruition, that the classic lineup of Dokken will put together one more really good album and get it out there with George, and it's something to look forward to. So they're talking about it right now. They're trying to figure out the schematics of it, but it's in the works, baby. Let's see what else we got. Phil Collin made a big public statement recently in an interview when he was asked, hey, listen, we know Def Leppard's on point, but have you seen the recent shows of Motley Crue with Vince Neil? Phil, what do you think? And Phil basically came out and said, look, I didn't see these shows. I've heard about them, but Vince has a full year to get his voice back in shape, to get his body in shape. And I'm confident, this is Phil quoted, I'm confident he will do it. He can do it. We will be working out together as far as getting in physical shape. And as you've seen, and Johnny has felt as he ran into him, Phil Collin is built like a rock wall. The guy's cut and solid muscle. He works out, and he says he's going to work out with Vince and get Vince in shape. And he's hoping that Vince realizes the importance of how big this tour is and how all the other bands are counting on him to get his voice in shape, take vocal lessons, rest it up, exercise it, warm it up, and get it back in tune so that by 2022, when the stadium tour launches, Motley Crue will make a strong showing with Vince's voice on point. That's what Phil said and is hoping that'll happen. Personally, look, I hope it happens too. We talked all last week about Vince Neil's voice fail at shows recently. And Vince already had a year during the pandemic to get in shape and get his voice in shape, and he didn't. So I'm very, very concerned about this, like we discussed. I don't know. I don't know if he'll actually do it, Johnny. I don't know. I hope he will, but so far, no good. I think with the pressure from the other bands, I'm hoping this pushes him to do it, though.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if anything, to do it for his health, because he really looks out of shape.
He looks way out of shape. Show a photo of him, Johnny. Show a photo of him. Didn't he do a Colonel's commercial recently?
Well, yeah. I mean,
there's Vince right there. There's Vince.
Vince BL.
Yeah, Vince Bull. Vince Bull. Brought to you by Colonel's Gourmet Popcorn. So there's Vince right there, and he looks a little off. He looks a little handsomer, I gotta say, but he could use a couple of pounds.
Looks happy.
He looks very happy because look, he's surrounded by two big delicious buckets of Colonel's Gourmet Popcorn. That would make anyone happy. Yeah, but look, if you're watching the stadium tour, if you're holding tickets to the stadium tour that are non-refundable and you're waiting yet another year until 2022, you are crossing your fingers and praying to God that Vince gets his shit together, because right now that's what Def Leppard's doing. Def Leppard is hearing all this stuff and saying, holy shit, we're on this tour, and Poison's saying the same thing, and those guys are all ready to rock.
Who's the headliner for that?
It's a combination headliner of Def Leppard and Motley Crue, alternating nights as headliner. So this is a big deal. Like Phil said, everyone's money is riding on this. So Vince has to realize the importance of how big a deal it is that he gets his voice in shape, that he learns and relearns the lyrics to the song, and that he gets his body in physical condition to endure a tour. Look, we all want to see Motley Crue succeed. We all want to see them do well on this tour. We all want a good show. I mean, this is the last hurrah, kids. You know, these bands aren't getting any younger, and this is Motley Crue's last hurrah, their last real tour, you know, since the other one went kaput. You know, and it's all on Vince. It's all on Vince. Like Phil said, it's riding on Vince's shoulders. And, you know, Phil is convinced that Vince will realize the importance of, you know, how big a part he plays in this concert tour. And it's a big deal. And, you know, we're all hoping. But again, Vince had a year already and he blew it. Here's his last chance to get this shit show, you know, back to normal, back to where he should be. You know, you're Vince Neil. The fans aren't happy with you now, but look, you get your shit in order, you get your ducks in order, you get your house in order, you get your voice in order, and you get your body looking human. And dude, you'll be applauded every night. Because that's what we're all waiting for, is to see Motley Crue go out with a blaze of glory rather than, you know, a big disappointment and letting the fans down and letting the bands down. That's not Motley Crue. Motley Crue kicks ass. Motley Crue is, you know, one of the greatest 80s bands out there. And look, Vince has slipped. Vince has gotten a little lazy. Vince is, you know, taking his time. But right now, you got another year, Vince. So now's the time. All the other bands are counting on you. All the fans are counting on you. And like I said, I think there's a fire lit under his ass by the guys in Def Leppard, by the other guys in Crue, you know. So Phil Collin interview, very interesting insight. And I hope Phil gets on him. I hope he cracks the whip. In the news, let's see, Scorpions in the studio. This is kind of fun. They're in a studio in Germany. They've been writing for a long time during the pandemic, and they're finally up to the mixing stage. And the boys put out a small video giving a little teaser of a song from the next album. And they're all excited about it. The one problem I had with it, while it's great to see, you know, Klaus and Matthias, and, you know, they're all, you know, there at the board, and they're saying, hey, we are the Scorpions, and we've been mixing these songs. This is going to be a great album. While we're all happy to see them all in good shape and good spirits, he was talking over that clip. Like, he wouldn't stop talking. I was trying to hear the music, you know, and Matthias Jabs is kind of bopping along to it as he's playing it. And he's like, this is what we've been mixing all the time. This is what we've been doing, and hope you enjoy it. And all the guitars are good and the songs are good. And it's like, stop talking. I'm trying to hear. But he wouldn't stop talking over the clip. Check it out if you can. It should be on YouTube. Scorpions tease a little bit of the song clip. If you can't find it on YouTube, look on Blabbermouth, and it'll give you a video to the clip. So looking forward to that, man. Scorpions, big deal. 50 plus years those guys have been rocking it with hit after hit and great album after great album. A lot of consistency. Like we said earlier, shifting gears, Jeff Loomis just joined the new version of Alcatraz, that being Graham Bonnet's Alcatraz, because, you know, there are two Alcatrazes now. Like we said earlier in the show, there's, you know, the basic Alcatraz lineup, which is the musical side of the new album they just put out, you know, last year. Excuse me. And there's Graham Bonnet, longtime singer and, you know, former of the band Alcatraz, separated over management dispute, now formed Graham Bonnet's Alcatraz. And he reached out to Jeff Loomis, who, you know, is a current member, still a current member of Arch Enemy. And excuse me, I'm allergic to band breakups. And former guitarist of the band Nevermore. But he's doing double duty. He's still in Arch Enemy. He's still doing his solo work, and now he's the new guitarist of Graham Bonnet's Alcatraz. Okay, so we got it. So that's good news, because he's a great guitarist. You know, looking forward to seeing what they're able to put together. And let's see, Stephen Pearcy also in the studio. Now, he's been working tirelessly on another album. This will be his 6th solo album as Stephen Pearcy. And this one he announced is going to be a double because he's written so much music that he's proud of. He's making it a double album. He's also working on another book. So a second book, because his first one was really good. What?
Oh, just these comments.
Jeez. Yeah, Jeff T. Vince can't say penis either if he hasn't seen it. Johnny can't say it either. Johnny's seen his at least, but he can't say it.
Oh my gosh.
I'm sorry. I'm allergic to penis. So let's see. So Stephen Pearcy also working on a new book and a new docu-series. So that's interesting. Stephen Pearcy working on a lot of private projects too. So, God damn it. I'm allergic to private projects. And finally in the news tonight, Bret Michaels, a new TV show coming. They're filming it right now called Rags to Rescue. And it's about
Sneezing?
It's about sneezing.
It's about allergies?
Rags to Rescue. A lot of pollen in the air today. It's about pets, people, and their fighting spirit. I think it might be about rescue dogs. I'm not sure because they were really unclear in the news bulletin I got. So, look, I like Brett's. Yeah. I like glazing my microphone with snot like a crawler. So it might be about pet rescue. I'm not sure, but I like Brett's TV shows. I don't know what it's about. Motherfucker. I like Brett's TV shows that he's done so far. I liked all his dating shows. I liked, his Rock of Love, and I loved his docuseries. I loved all that. So I'm looking forward to it. Whatever it is, Brett, I'll watch it. I like Poison. God damn it. So he's been keeping busy while waiting for the stadium tour to go off.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. So
That's
that,
good.
boys and girls, is music news this week. And again, speaking of news, don't forget, go to my Facebook page, Jonathan Mancuda, and check out that story. Fuck me. Of that flying dildo, which I'm clearly allergic to. Because that story is really funny. So go to my Facebook page after the show and check that out and share it with your friends because that one deserves to be laughed at. And that's it, boys and girls. That's music news.
Awesome.
Very cool. Yeah. Bookmark the Julian's Van Halen auction this weekend. Check it out starting Friday. And of course, give us a thumbs up and like button on the video because we appreciate you and we love you as our audience.
Yeah, we only have 80 likes.
So far. Oh, come on. We could do better than that.
Yes.
I know we could do better than that.
80 watching, 81 thumbs ups.
That's even more people than are here. Oh, you know why, Johnny? Because people left thumbs down because you wouldn't say penis. Do you see that? Do you see what you did? You disappointed the audience. Oh, come on.
I said it.
Come on. Well, listen, I would appreciate it. I would appreciate it for Paulie and I, who work hard for you guys. I would appreciate if you would reverse those thumbs down into thumbs up. Don't blame this schmuck. Don't blame him. Well, yeah, you could blame him. Did you squeeze out a turd? Oh.
Oh, I'm wearing headphones.
There you go.
Gross.
How's that, buddy?
Ew.
I'll hock a loogie at the screen. Anyway, yeah, please reverse those thumbs down into thumbs up because there's more than just Johnny here. There's Paulie and I, and we work hard for you guys. So
And John BL.
And John BL. Thank you.
And Jay.
And
there's a whole bunch of.
I'm talking about today. I'm talking about today's show.
Oh.
And who's that guy bottom right? No, I know who that is.
Oh.
Anyway, if you enjoyed the show, regardless of Johnny, I didn't like it. Regardless of Johnny, there you go. Meh. Regardless of Johnny not being able to choke out penis, leave a thumbs up anyway. I appreciate it. And again, remember, we love you. We appreciate you. Be safe. Get vaccinated. See your family. Tell your parents you love them. Mama Mancuda, I love you. And let's give a thank to our channel members, our precious and beloved channel members who we treasure. Everyone like Charles every day, like Charles Green, Fruitcake Tony, Michael, the former birthday boy, Captain Smith, David Ennis, Mike Neese, Richard Poole, Linny Lou and Mary, touching themselves as we speak. Gargets Entertainment. Hey, turns me on. I don't care what you like. Gargets Entertainment, Kurt 5150, Susan Silvestri, Mickey Settlemeyer, Joe Christian, Nicole Mrazek, Sean Bolland, Wayno, Stephen Franklin, Will Starr, R. Habs, KXM Rock, David Shea Garmery, Bozique, Crazy Cook 678, Carol Hatcher, False Flag, Margaret Scranton, Sean Silas, Trevor Burnson, and Jarhead Rock, as well as, let's see,
Halface,
John Moronic. Is he on there twice?
Who?
John Moronic. Didn't I just say John Moronic on the other screen?
Did you?
Didn't I? No?
You said Jarhead Rock.
Jarhead Rock. Okay, I'm sorry.
It rhymes with John Moronic.
It does, right? It does. Okay, let's try again. Thank you to channel members Halface, John Moronic, James Gum, Hillary Lewis, Jim Nicholas, 802 Blues, Mr. BHB Jr., Frag 5150, Pal Guitars, Dan Halen, Frank Corcoran, Ben Tom, Michael B, Jeff T, R2R3 Locking Nut, Fernando Riley, Robot Master Switch, 6 Chick 71, Rick Green, The Chad, 2 Brain Cells, Thomas Santiago, Voodoo Child SJ, that is Sean Johnson, Brian Spalding, Laguda Palms, Fender Guru, Music Therapy Laz, Ghost BC Rich, 5150 TV, Steve Barton, Jimmy Ray Hawkins, Hugh Caldwell, David Crosby is a dildo fucker. He sure is. Meh. Jesus Rapes Me, Randy Price, and Steve Carmichael.
And thank you to new channel members, Murphy. I see you there.
Murph.
And All Dave All Night.
Thank Dave you. All night on Dave TV. And special thanks to Matt Stewart for these great books. I really appreciate it. I cannot wait to get box number 2. Thank you so fucking much for these. I really appreciate it. And again, big thanks to all of our viewers. We really, really love and appreciate our audience. Take a minute, hit the thumbs up, please. Leave comments on the video. We reply to them, and we always appreciate that.
And go to johnnybean.shop. Please.
Yeah, and thank you, Susan Silvestri. Fuck David Crosby.
Oh. Yeah, actually, yeah, we don't like him, so that's
we
fine.
do not. He badmouthed Eddie Van Halen, and we will hate him forever. Just saying.
Yeah, you don't do that.
Yeah. Thank you, Charles Green.
All right. Charles, tomorrow's the day, man. When I get it, I'll do a Wolfgang Wednesday live unboxing tomorrow.
Nice.
Yes, thank you. Charles Green. The great
Charles Green, everybody, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, everybody.
Love you, Johnny Bean TV.
Are we raiding anybody, or is there anybody
talking
on?
Guitars and 80s metal live? Is there anyone to raid?
Let me look real quick.
I don't know.
Really quick.
Quickly, Johnny, quickly. Who wants to raid somebody? Nobody? No one on to raid?
No.
Goodbye, Jay Hannon. Goodbye. Bye.
Jay, are you here?
Jay's here.
Hey, Jay.
Jay just said bye.
All right. Oh, look at this.
And Jay and Johnny will see you on Friday on Talking Van Halen. There you go.
All right. Watch another video on the channel here. Watch my last 2 videos.
Yeah,
on the Van Halen, on those Van Halen videos. Watch those. All right. See you guys. I'll be live tomorrow, definitely, for my unboxing.
And we love and appreciate you. Do not forget that, because I never do.
Yes. All right.
Rock on, everybody.
Johnny Bean TV. Bye. Penis.